Alright, welcome guys, welcome, and we're going to be playing some more Dwarf Fortress. It's Fortress Friday, of course, so we're sort of doing our regular stream. We've got RazorWealth is the fortress that we actually have at this point in time down in here, and just getting ready for the sieges that will be coming. We've got 20 dwarves, 7 of which are extremely unhappy. So we're going to tackle that one right from the very, very start. By the way, before I did start recording, in fact I did it yesterday, I just went through and just added in a few more stockpiles and things like that, just so I don't have to sort of go through and do all that sort of micromanagement right now. And yeah, so there's a whole lot of different things going on. You can see there's a whole lot of sort of fairly grumpy dwarves just wandering around. We can sort of see what they're like. Actually, that one, he's not too bad. That's Began. So this is a DasTactic game, by the way, as well. So there are dwarves that will be available for people if they do want to have them named. I think most of them are named. We've got a few that aren't named. So we do have names available now. We had a bit of an influx of dwarves last time. But we can see here, there's Resmelin, for example, very unhappy. Sick, very unhappy. Ishibashi, very, very unhappy, and through there as well. There's a lot of them that are actually very, very unhappy with what's going on in the fortress. Began is very unhappy. There we go. So there's a whole lot of them that are actually extremely unhappy. Now, of course, I keep on recommending that if you are new to the game, and if you're not new to the game, hi William Chapman, how you going? And Villavec. So whether you're a new or a veteran, I do highly, highly recommend that you run DF hack as well at the same time. It really does smooth the game out. It does give you little helpers. Now, if we go and, let's just go and pick on Began as an example, because we know that he's actually fairly sad. So we've got the, we can see what his values are in through here. This is like the summary of what he's like. So introspection, tranquility, prone to discord, avoids fights, overshares things, and is altruistic. So a nice, very nice person to have around. Back in through here, we then get to see his most recent and longest lived thoughts. You can see there that he's been horrified. When we sort of see these reddish tinges, we sort of see that this is actually something that's lasting with him. So he was horrified after being haunted by the dead. There's things where he didn't feel anything after seeing goblins, bodies and stuff like this as they came in. But that was sort of seeing all the carnage from the previous siege is actually, and we've still got bodies around. Like there's a lot of work to be done in this fortress still just to clean it up after the previous siege. So there's a lot of work to be done. There's skeletons everywhere, so it's not a very pleasant place at the moment. It's like it's full of death and destruction. Here we go. My body has gone see-through, which is probably a good thing. Anyway, we'll let that one sort of go. But we're not getting a real lot of different sort of ideas through here, but we can go back to his thoughts and get even more idea about what's going on. So horrified. Memories are like recent thoughts are just the most recent things that he... so we're sort of uneasy upon dwelling upon seeing atomic ants dead body, again from the previous siege. So they've come in and found all these skeletons, essentially, when they've come into the fortress. And so these are essentially the various thoughts and things that there were. Now, he was blissful after, remember, sleeping in a very good bedroom. So the bedrooms that we actually have are fairly good. That's going to be sort of one of the... There's a whole lot of different things that can impact their happiness. Hi, Began, we're just talking about you. Your character. Memories are long-term sort of meaningful things. So if we go into here, and again we can sort of see there's a few different stuff in through here. So uneasy, dwelling upon seeing atomic ants. This is in the summer, so we're now in the late winter. So this is actually when they came in the spring. So in the summer of 302, so uneasy upon dwelling upon their empathy, discussing the spouse's problems, which is fine. Horrified again, reliving being haunted by the dead. So we've had different ghosts. So we've been trying to remove the ghosts as quickly as possible because they are upsetting a lot of the dwarves. A lot of the dwarves are being haunted by the dead that were here from the previous siege. And there's heaps of dwarves that died. the whole fortress type. Blissful remembering sleeping in a very good bedroom. So that's from the summer when he was here, and then in the winter, like sympathy remembering giving somebody water. So again, this is a nice sort of thought. So these are actually long-term memories that Began actually does have. We're still not getting a real lot of idea as to what is going on, why he is just so unhappy. This is where DF hack then enters the fray. If I've got Began selected, I can then go up to DF hack and go into the launcher, the GUI launcher here. And if I just go, I think it's feelings. I think it's all needs. It's actually needs. If I go to all needs, you'll see there at the top there all needs in through here. And when I click on this one here, it's just saying provides the overview of the needs of the selected unit, or if no unit is selected, the fort in general. By default, the list is sorted by which needs are making your dwarves or the selected dwarf most unfocused right now, and so essentially making it so that they become unhappy. So if we just go and press enter with Began selected, we can then sort of see that these are the various aspects that to be honest, there's not a hell of a lot. Cause trouble, I don't know what that one is. So he has a problem with causing trouble. I'm not sure what that actually is to do with. This is the impact that it has on him. So about negative 9,000 in there at this stage, but it's happened 5 times. So there's the need, there's the strength of the need. So I wonder what cause trouble is. I don't know what that one is. I haven't seen that one before. So this is a bit of an unusual one. Be with friends. So he wants to be with friends. Now that should sort itself out over time. So I'm not really too concerned about that one. Be with family down through there as well. Make merry, martial training, learn something, good meal. These are the actual needs. Actually, maybe this isn't the right way to look at this. If we have a look at, often you can just type in what you think it's going to be. Now, is it feelings? No, it's not feelings. And there's moods, but moods is actually when you've got like a different sort of mood. But quite often these will actually then give you the idea as to would it be happy? No, it's not. Maybe this isn't. I don't know what the cause trouble is. I've got no idea. I don't think I've seen that one before. So something is causing trouble, and I don't understand. Okay, so Mint Yogi is saying, can you check Began's needs to see if there is a hint about what cause trouble may satisfy? Yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea. So if we go back into his, again, into his thoughts, we've got the thoughts. Actually, where is that one? Needs here. Yeah, here we go. So this one here is actually then the summary of those different things, I guess. So it's unfocused about being away from people. Now, Began shouldn't be a problem. It's unfocused enough to lead an unexciting life. All right. So all these unfocused things after a lack of decent meals, after a lack of troublemaking. I wonder what the troublemaking. There's troublemaking there. Offended after being extravagant and unfocused after not learning anything. Anyway, this is probably a bit of an unusual one, really. I think we're just going to have to let Began sort of sort himself out after a lack of introspection, unfocused on being able to practice a martial art. Well, he isn't now in the military. He's unfocused after being unable to take it easy. So these are unusual needs. Yeah, okay. Let's just leave that one alone because they're not it's not that big. We could actually just focus on him, but we've got a heap of them. So I'm just going to go into all of the other aspects. So, imperture of man. So I could never get good at this game. You don't need to be, actually. It just happens. It just plays itself to a large degree. Villavex saying I'm awful at this game. Yeah, no, I think everyone is. Everyone is who plays it, because things happen that is just out of your control. I like to make trouble, you do, but I don't. Like, it's sort of funny because the personality is sort of the opposite. I think you're a conflicted person there, Began. Imperator is then saying, what do you mean by being good at this game? Yeah. So it's it's one of those things where the game will always end up winning anyway. Typically, it'll end up over time it ends up sort of descending. But this happiness is actually a big issue that we do have to sort of try to address. So we've got Began there. We've got 7 that are unhappy. We've actually got 12 dwarves that are really in a problem state, and so that's more than half the fortress. So we're just going to see if we can find out what sort of needs are not being met. So if I go back into DF Hack again and go to the GUI launcher and just type in all needs again without any dwarves selected, I'm then going to get a summary of the whole fortress. So let's just go and do that. So we can see there that this is actually and we can see there that in the list of things about causing trouble, there are 27 events with this one. It does overall cause negative 48,000 in the fortress, but it's a long way down the list. So the big ones that we actually have, the major one we have is the needs to pray or meditate. That's actually the biggest one. And then the next one is to be with family. Now, we can't really impact the be with family. That's just something that's going to happen. Be with friends as well. So as the fortress gets more cohesion between the actual dwarves, those two will sort themselves out to a large degree. There was a bug at one point with the be with family, even when family was here at the fortress. So as the fortress gets bigger, that should sort itself out. Fighting is a big one in through here as well. Not that that's going to be sort of something we can really sort of affect. Acquiring different objects as well. So different ones will have objects that they really, really want. That could be anything. So there are a few in through there. Martial training. These are the sorts of stuff that we can actually look at. But the big one at the top there is pray or meditate, because we haven't actually set up any temples yet. That's really, really easy to fix up. So I'm just going to go and have a bit of a look over here. I've actually made these areas last time just to try to sort of start to get some more flux stone. So we actually wanted to get chalk so we could keep on making steel, because we don't all of our military, like this is actually Syrian, is actually Began's spouse. Yeah, so this is Began's spouse in through here, and she is part of the military. And Began's part of the military. They're both part of the military. So, but she doesn't have any of the actual. She doesn't have any items yet either. So we still need to build up all of the steel and the industry to actually equip these guys. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But the first one, just being able to pray and meditate, I'm just going to make these rooms into temples. So I'm just going to go across into the zones, and we're going to add a new zone in through here. And so a meeting area, if we hover over these, it'll then tell us what these will then be. A meeting area can be all sorts of different things. For example, like a tavern, temple. Actually, a tavern would be a good fun thing for us to build. That would be good. That would satisfy a lot of those other needs as well. We could actually split off. In fact, I might even do that as well. If we have a look at what we have in through here, we've got like a... this is an unnamed dining hall back in through this other side. And we can assign a different location to these. And tavern actually then has sleeping quarters and stuff like that. So it's so we do actually have this one, and then we also down the bottom through here have a meeting area down this area as well, which is just a generic one. If I make it into, these are different things we can do. Make it into an inn or a tavern, and if I just if I cancel that one and just go back up to the top one, and make that into something as well, new inn or tavern in through here. I might make that way, I think. So, or to assign the holder of the role, and so in this case we now have. So we now have details about this particular one. So we can actually we need like a tavern keeper. Set details. So in this case, they want to have goblets, so they don't have any goblets in this point. There's no instruments. I'll just let it go. We have a tavern keeper in through here. Let's go and add in art of stuttering. That'll do. And we've got so we've got So he will be the tavern keeper. Performer will be, we've got a few of them actually here. So I'll go with someone who's not really into stuff. I made Began and Syrian were, I think that they came through as peasants. There's competent singer, adequate speaker. Now, there's part of the military, which means they're not going to be doing that all the time. Look, let's just go with that one. Let's make Began. That's the performer. Actually, we'll make his wife the other performer. There we go. So they've got the husband and wife team. They're both now bards. Bards of the fortress, but they're still also part of the military as well. So that will then sort of get the tavern set up. So that will hopefully then make it so that people want to be in here. So again, we've got goblets and instruments. Now we don't actually have any instruments. We're going to have to go and do something with that one. So that's the tavern and the dance floor in the common area, 2x4. We don't have any rented rooms, which is actually okay at this stage. We can sort of then make other parts of the fortress still part of the same tavern if we wanted to. So that's all okay. This is the Amethyst Spice. Let's go and change the name of it. So we'll just go and get some random names. So what we have in through here is the, and then the spice is the back X name, and then we've got the adjective here. So it's using the spice with an adjective in front of it. So let's just go and randomize these and just till we get something. The burrowing parity, like if I like one of the two words, the burrowing, I like burrowing, so I can actually just now go back into here and just go to the X and just do that one. The burrowing twine, court, fancied, seduce, banner, the burrowing banner. I like that. Let's do that one. Done. So that's our tavern. So that's the actual tavern that we have in through there. We'll now just go and right click on that one. This one down in here as well with the unnamed meeting hall, I'm going to go and change that one across to be part of the burrowing banner. So I'm just going to go and select that one. So this is actually now also part of the same tavern. This whole area now is actually just part of one massive tavern. And if we have a bit of a look again, we've just got the various bits and pieces in through there. So we do need a chest in here. I'll go and place a chest back over here. So we'll just go and get things sorted out. So this will then at least give the dwarf somewhere to go and meet and be happy. I thought they would anyway, but this is actually like their dining hall. Excuse me, but by making it into an actual Began's Bar, actually, I don't think you can change the name. Can you? Actually, it's sort of, maybe that would be funny to name. I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can do it. I'll just go in and put the furniture down. And so with the chest, I'm just going to throw one chest in there. And I don't have any that are around, so I'll just do that again. Furniture, chest, and this time we're going to go into the planner. And that way it'll just plan for them in the head. I'll put 2 in. So 2 chests in through there. So this ultimately should be where we end up with like a lot of things going on. Let's just go back out again. Go back to our zones. Click on the zone. Clicking on the set the details. We do actually have, so we just set the details in through here. I wonder if I can just do that one. Began's Bar. Won't do it. You won't do it. Won't go any further than that. I wonder why. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to just leave it the way it is, I think. I don't think I can actually rename what they actually are. Because it's looking for the actual words. Just leave it. I'll just have to leave it where it is, I think. Sounds dwarf. We have to just have that as our internal name. Anyway, so that's now sort of been set up. We've got 2 chests now in the common area. Goblets will actually be brought in if we do actually have goblets. Now we've got 0 in here at the moment. I think we've made some. If we have a quick look at the stocks in the fortress and type in goblets. No, we don't. It will be under... mugs, I think. Just try mugs. There we are, 18. Yeah, so we do actually have mugs in the fortress anyway, so I'll just let them, they'll just bring these in, so we don't have to worry about those. So they'll be ultimately brought into into this location. So that should make people a little bit happier having that one through there. And we also saw that we now need to also set up temples as well. So I'm going to set up a temple or two in this region, and so we'll get going from in there as well. So we'll just go into the zones, and again, a meeting area is going to be where the temple will ultimately be. So we'll just go across into here, accept, and then we just go and click on this one through here. This is going to be a new temple. Now, when we click on new temple, we're going to then be shown what the actual gods are. The gods are randomly generated in the world, so we don't have any real and they are gods of different things, and even like large beasts that have been very, very impressive will end up coming through as gods as well. So if I just go into new temple, we then sort of see like we've got 7 worshippers of Senath. The no specific deity is something that we can actually just have so that anybody can pray, which is probably the best way to start off. The Brilliant has only got no worship. It's got no worshippers. These are all the different gods in the world. 1 worshipper there. And you can see what they're god of. So Senath is a god of rebirth, creation, and strength. 7 worshippers, that's 7 out of 20. That's a third of our dwarves, which is actually not bad. Let's have a bit of a look. There's a lot of different gods. 5 worshippers there for death and suicide. This is for Mondul. 1 worshipper for that one. So we don't want different, like we don't really want different temples everywhere for different people. But as we sort of come back through, no worshippers, 2 worshippers there for minerals and healing, 1 for nature and rivers, 1 worshipper there for happiness. So these are individual. And these are members of different temples, I think, different sort of religious groups. The Divinity of Rights. So there's nothing much in here where they're and this one here, like the maternal ways, there's only 2 worshippers of this particular faith. So these are faiths. These are the gods, but this is actually the faith. So the maternal ways is a faith in the world where they worship Senath. So this is actually a group that does worship Senath, but we can just have a general thing for this one if we wanted to. So 7 worshippers for Senath. So what I think I'll do is I think I'll actually build a no specific deity one, and so that anyone can just come in and pray, which will satisfy a little bit about what they have. And then we've got the other one. I'll make the Senath one at the bottom here. So we'll just go back across and go back into that one. We'll accept meeting area and what's happened there? Did it ran the wrong way. I'll just delete this. Meeting area. Select. Accept. Add. New temple to Senath this time. So the Hall of Yelling. There we are. What's the other one called? The Sand of Vision. I think we can rename these. So we'll set the details, and we'll just go and. So this is the X of X. So it'll be the Sand of Vision. Let's just go and randomize these names. The Renowned Hall in this case. The Massive Monastery. Monastery's not bad. I'll just keep it going. The Shrine of Principle. I'll leave it there. That's okay. So we have a shrine. A shrine is basically just a very, very low value temple, and so that's okay. I can start to build up and make these more impressive, which will then sort of help people as well. There's no performers in this particular one. Again, I could just go and add in the different groups in here as well. The woodworker. I can even bring these back across as well. I don't really want them getting too sort of set up with different things. The herbalists, but this one doesn't have any actual skills. Unfortunately, and then the caretakers as well. This one may be something we want to do. Thanks for the subscription there, Syrian. That's very, very much appreciated. I'll read some of the comments in just a minute there. Let's just leave it, I think. With this, they can still go and pray there. And same in through here. We're just going to have a quick look. This is the Hall of Yelling. I quite like the idea of that name, so that will be fine. And so they will now, like the dwarves that do need to go and pray, can sort of do it in these rooms. These aren't great rooms, so they're not fantastic. That will do us, I think, for that one. One thing we do need to have is altars, and I don't know if we've got any altars. No, we don't. Oh, yes, we do. We've got a few different altars that have been made. All right, in that case, we'll go and just place some altars in these rooms. So we'll pray to the altars back up this other side. So we'll just go and place them sort of off to the side here. Furniture, offering places, and so we'll just go and place these in the actual in their rooms. And one down in here as well. There we are. So we've got two different altars there. I'll just go and unpause. I've also had set these arms up for smoothing before I started playing. So hopefully that will then get our dwarves a little bit happier over time. And we should see more of them in here as well. One thing I did do also, just before I started recording, was just set up my these bolts to end up being put back into their proper location. There's no way to do that automatically. And as I said before, I've sort of set things up a little bit just to have stuff just sort of happening. There we go, make lie a little bit easier there. So we have, this is like a bit of a choke point, like the actual fortress itself. Oh, here we go. It's now early spring. They've been here for nearly a year. So 1 year. So hopefully we get another influx of dwarves. We want to get up to about 30 before the sieges will then sort of start. So now I've got 8 that are unhappy. It's getting worse and worse. It does take time for their moods to dissipate. Just have a quick look and see where these dingoes and things actually are. So they're all outside, are they? Yeah, they're all outside. That's okay. All right. So if we have a quick look down at our fortress, like the one entrance that we have, they haven't caught anything in this point just yet. So this is actually one of the entrances that we have going in. Syrian saying your chroma key is working a bit overtime and attempting to make you a floating head. Yeah, I know. It's funny actually. It's I had a lot of troubles with it yesterday, so I sort of made it a little bit more aggressive than it normally is. But that's okay. I'll just let it go there. We'll leave it there for now because yesterday it was actually making everything green. So anyway, it's not good. Now, sorry, I'm missing a lot of the comments here. Can you check beans? Yeah, we did that one before. I like to make trouble. There we go. So, hi, David. How you going? Oh, actually, I've got to talk about one of the games. That I've recorded a video. David is actually does PR with Micropros, and they've got a new game out, which is awesome. It's incredible, actually. I didn't think I'd like it as much as what I do. Called something hot. I forget what it is now. A helicopter game. I can't think of what the name is. God, my mind's gone blank. But it's an amazing game. Anyway, I've got a video that I recorded yesterday for it. It's a really good fun game. It's a pretty quick game, so I didn't want to do it as a live stream because it would be too long for a live stream, I think. Cleared Hot, there we are. Yeah, so Beth Kit is saying Cleared Hot. Great game. God, that's an incredible game. It rates at 98% with over 1,000 reviewers. since it launched about a week ago. It's just a fun game, and it's actually a game that I didn't think I'd have the reflexes for. And but in the end, I've actually it was actually just so much fun to play. It's I'm not very good at it, but it's still just an absolute hoot to actually get into it. All the missions are very, very different. Not very many missions yet. It is early access, but yeah, really, really cool game. Anyway, let's continue on. Put in the first room and temple in the one below it. So Falcons are saying, put it in the first room. I'm not sure what that. You need some hair. Can we get a wig or helmets? There we go. She needs. I know. I don't know why so many of the dwarves are bald. The female dwarves. I think that's a bug, but I'm not sure how to fix it. We could maybe look that up to see if there is a way of changing that. Because it's a bit off-putting. They're nearly more than half the female dwarves end up being completely bald. Nothing wrong with that, though, of course. So, what did we get up to? You can't name the tavern, but you can name the zone the tavern is created from. That's something anyway. Name the zone. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, we can. Yeah, okay. We can do that one. Syrian has subscribed. We did that one before, so I think we're all okay. Your chroma key not working. Okay, so yeah, bald is beautiful. There we are. But let's just see if we can actually. I don't think we can actually change the overall look of the dwarves with what they're doing. What are you doing up here? This is Union ID, a herbalist, constructing more buildings. He's hungry though, so should come back inside for different things as well. These are unmet needs like socialise, excitement. So these are the sorts of things that should be. There's another cause trouble in there as well. Let's just go back down to the list section. One thing I haven't done is set up all the hotkeys with the fortress. Right, let's have a quick look at this one here. So if we go back into the zone itself, unnamed dining hall. There we go, Beacon's Bar. Beacon's Bar, there we are, done. I'll just want to call this one Beacon's Hall. That'll do. All right, so we've got both of these different areas in here now. Just sort of split between the two different zones. That's going to be fine. So eventually people should come in and socialise in here. So I think we've sort of got all those sorted out. Thank you, Beacon, for the gifted subs. That's very, very much appreciated. And we're just waiting also for our miners to mine things out. Again, see, here's another bald dwarf. Just don't know if we go to health. This is the description. Here is clean shaven. So it does set them up as clean shaven. I'll have to look it up. Let's just go and see if we can find some information about this one. I'll just go and do a dwarf fortress wiki. I'll just type in bald in here and just see if there's any information. Nothing there. Let's just see if there's anything else. So we've got fortress bald. Beards for everyone mod. Okay, the bald head is only acceptable for the full beard. Anyway, that's not really. There are a precious few portraits of dwarven ladies. Now that's this is in from Reddit. Yeah, it's old. So this is too old. Yeah, so this one is actually showing clean shaven hairstyle gets selected too often, which I think is it's in the bug tracker. That's from 2010. So that's from 15 years ago. No idea how we can fix that. So Yeah, I'm not sure how we actually get that one done. This is from 3 years ago. This is something that DF Hack would be good at having. I don't know if there's a way to do that one. So Atronox is saying, what are your plans for the fort defense? Yeah, we've got a lot that we're currently working with that. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way of changing this one. Yes, they're talking about whether female dwarves had beards, etc., which is often a when you're sort of talking about dwarves, there's often like some games put them with beards on and some games don't. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any way to fix it, so we'll leave that one out. Okay, we'll just go and do the DF Hack. I'm not seeing it there. DF Hack tools. Be good if there was a way of changing the look of dwarves, I guess. Yeah, Duskview is saying, yeah, cleared hot. It's a really fun game. Like it's so well done. That particular game. Actually, that chroma key is going to be annoying, isn't it? Anyway, we'll keep it going. DF Hack. Yeah, these are all the different tools that we end up having. I don't think we can change what they look like. This is all of the different things you can do in DF Hack. What would it be called? It would be, wouldn't be just bald. Hairstyle. If I just do a search, I'll just have a quick look in here for things like hair. Nope. Style. Nope. I can't think what else it would actually be, but there's a lot of different things in through here. Description. No, there's nothing else there for description. Yeah, no, I can't see it there. No, I can't see it there. That's okay. No. Barber? Yeah, actually that would be a barber. Nope, nothing there. That would be a handy little tool, actually, to have it. But I agree with you, there's just too many of them. There's way too many that end up, it's like some of them got hair, but very, very few and far between. Anyway, let's continue on with the fortress. So we'll just let it sort of keep on running. Oh, there was the question about what are we doing to protect it. So we're playing in a world. I've got a few different settings that I use to make the worlds. Whoops, hang on. I'll just get rid of that one. To make the world a lot more aggressive than it normally is. And so our fortress is in here. So this is actually RazorWealth. Which is, and we've got a couple of outposts close by in these mountains from our civilization. Our main civilization is back over in through here. Anything in red is we're at war with, so all these goblins are at war with us, and so there will be sieges coming. And we also have a volcano back over here, and we're living in a haunted location. And so the volcano sends ash across all the time, which makes everyone quite nauseous. So it's actually it's not a good place to live, but that's where we are. We're in a place called RazorWealth. So so that's the actual world itself, and there are different things. Like if we go to news and rumors, we're seeing much. We're seeing different groups marching across into different locations back over here. An army marched on Earth Warrior. That was in 301. 302 became... Okay, so they marched but didn't do too much. You see there the goblin sort of... this is the route that a goblin group did come back through. There's other groups that have been marching up through here. I don't know about whether they've been attacking or anything. Yep, so there we go. In the late winter of 301, the army of Rospin Porker screen marched on Boulder Jade. And so we're sort of seeing now this is the Goblin Mountain Halls. That's actually, so there's a Goblin, Goblins took over a few of these different locations, but they're no longer at war with them. So unless that one's from a different group actually. They might be from a different civilization. Anyway, I know they would be the same civilization as us, but anyway, Goblins have taken over that one as well. So when we're looking at these rumours, we don't actually see the actual the status. If we have a look down here, yes, Dwarven Hillocks of Boulder Jade, and that's the Goblin Mountain Halls of Short Tarnish. Back and through there, and so this one here is actually grey. So we're not technically at war with that one. That war must have finished. Anyway, we've got a lot of problems back over here. But I'm using a world generation setting, which creates very, very dangerous worlds. So that's sort of what's happening in through that other side. So we've got the. So there's a lot of all the brown areas are going to be haunted zones and stuff like this. So there's a lot of. It's a very, very aggressive world. Is the starting point. We're also playing it on hard mode. We played it on sort of like we extend. Actually, we've gone a little bit beyond hard mode with our with what we're doing. If I just go back up into the settings and into here, and then go to difficulty, you can see we're playing custom. And so if I go into custom settings, I've actually made these so that we end up with more difficulty in the actual triggers for sieges, just so we get the sieges a little bit earlier. But previously, I had set these up way, way, way too small, so it was diabolically difficult. The game has just recently also had a change to it to nerf the actual sieges down a little bit. They were just too big. So the last siege that we had, which is what all these skeletons are, had basically come in and destroyed the fortress, very, very quickly, like in just a matter of minutes. The last siege. So to protect against that for the coming siege, we're coming back in and reclaim the fortress. Our first entrance was just digging down through an aquifer, which was in through here, and then back up to the top in through here. What we've done now is we've put a reinforced sandpair log wall around the actual entrance with essentially just a ramp that goes up across the top. So a ramp goes up across into there and then back down again. So anything that comes into this zone has to walk over this ramp. They can climb the walls as well. And then we've got some traps. Now these are just cage traps, which don't do anything anymore. Cage traps used to be the best way of actually defending against a siege, because you'd be capturing all of the different creatures that came into your fortress. This one they still capture, but then the besieging forces then release them. So what we've done here is we've still got the hatch cover there. Hatch covers no longer can be locked. Goblins can, well, they can be locked, but then the goblins will just smash their way through fairly quickly. So even just normal goblins can now break open doors and hatches. They can, I think, now break them from underneath as well. So you no longer had protection. And we'll test it if we do get a major siege. We'll sort of try to figure out, is it going to protect the dwarves anymore? And I just don't know if it will. So in this case, we've got these sort of coming through the hatch cover, and so when they came through, this is actually how the goblins came in last time. Was through this hatch cover. They broke open that one. There was doors in here, which they then also did. Again, we've got more cage traps from the previous fortress, and then they came back down and destroyed everyone. This is why when we come down, we still see some of the skeletons in through here. That's a goblin skeleton in through that side. This is a Cruncher's left hand. We had a necromancer fighting on our side as well. So we've got there's also the different teeth and stuff like this as well. There's a whole lot of different stuff. We have to bury all these skeletons. There's Zaradin's mangled skeleton from the previous one. So there's a whole lot of dead goblins and dwarves in this zone. So there was a massive fight that actually happened in there. We also had a nightmare attack, and the nightmare, I think, was killed in this area as well eventually. But this is, you can see a pool of nightmare ichor and a pool of giant bat blood. So this is actually where people have actually got this nightmare ichor on their themselves and come to the well to clean it all off. So that's sort of where we are with that one through there. You know, these things. So there is no way to turtle up in the fortress and wait out a siege. Not really, because they can break through. They can dig through the rock now as well, and they can dig through anything really. They can break open standard walls. Even if you construct a standard wall, they can do it. I think that when you build the reinforced wall, I think that is a. I don't think I can do much with that. So this one is sort of like one way to protect the fortress. So I've built one all the way around, and then I've got a big drawbridge here, and I don't even know if they can smash through drawbridges, but I've got a drawbridge there to close that gap off, and that will then become a essentially like should be able to then isolate the forces that attack us. So even if they're attacking this, I hopefully will be able to have like a small portion of the goblins get through here. Some get caught, but others sort of break their way through, and then we close that off, and then we send our military up to deal with it. That's hopefully, I'm hoping that's what we can then go and do. And I don't know if that will then be able to protect what we're doing. But also on top of the hill up through here, when we actually have a bit of a look up here, we see there's more stuff we're building in through here with reinforced microline block walls in through here. They're reinforced with copper. And so this is going to be our main fortress. This is going to be the main entrance. And so everyone is now just going around to try to build the outer wall. You can see I've got inner walls I'm just using normally, but I've got the reinforced walls up through here. And what do we catch there? A dingo has been caught in that particular cage. That's okay. Somebody will go and pick it up. And so this will be the entrance into the actual fortress down through here, and I will actually have a drawbridge which I open, either close or open in this location. So that will be a drawbridge in there, and I will need to build up a zone for the drawbridge to be able to extend out to. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go back down into this layer. I might just set that one up now as well. So I'm just going to go and go to constructions, and we're going to go and make ramps. Let's get it lined up. So about there, across to there. So that will be where the drawbridge drops down to, ultimately. And actually, I've still got this one on planning mode. I'll just go and cancel these, just so I can actually build it out of something that I want it to be built out of. So constructions, ramps. Hide the planner this time, so we've got the choice. And I've got chalk blocks. I've got, I don't have a lot. I've got ginkgo wood logs. They're a long way away, but let's just go all here. So just make them out of that. And we then also wait for that to be built, and then we'll build the bridge out to that. And that'll be our drawbridge. And so hopefully this will then be able to protect the fortress. We've now got the under area has now been done as well. Now the microline blocks, we're trying to build them. We also haven't really got a lot of stone. For whatever reason, stone was sort of taken away from the fortress after the siege, and so we do need to keep on sort of getting what we have. Now if we have a quick look at the microline. Microline, actually everything's in, I'll just go to blocks. Now I do actually have, a lot of these are going to be, I've got 124 blocks, but a lot of these have been used. So we've got, so there's a group of them in there, 121, there's 19 blocks it's saying that are still here. If we go and click on these, you can see there, that's just highlighting that particular block there. I need to make a lot more blocks. Down through here, this is going to be the main entrance into the fortress ultimately, and that comes down into here where we've got our military, should be training in here. We do have a block stockpile here, and we have a bar stockpile there for the copper, because we're reinforcing everything with copper. So we've caught a heap of badgers, which we may sort of try to get that one fixed up as well. Now what are you doing? It's Kujagrim, the manager. Oh, loading cage traps, that's okay. She's also a miner. We do have a dedicated miner as well. And I'm trying to channel out these areas so I can then put in drawbridges to block off the entrance into the main part of the fortress. So these two areas here will actually have drawbridges, because once you come down the staircase, you then come up there. I'm going to check to see if they can actually break open through here. and then through here they can sort of then just make their way through. Now, unfortunately, this down here is where all the animals are, so I think they will end up being killed if anything does break down into this particular zone. Again, we've still got a whole lot of different skeletons and things down here as well, which I'll just leave them where they are. That won't worry them too much. We've got a skeleton from one of the goblins still down there from the siege. So there's a lot of carnage going on through here. And then we go down even deeper into the fortress down through there. So if we can somehow protect this zone, that would be good. I don't know if we can or not. So that's why I thought at least I've got a fail-safe to try to keep the rest of the fortress fairly secure. And then we'll probably even put more drawbridges along this area through here as well. Because this is actually I need to protect the hospital as well, so I do need to protect it from here. I think I'll just leave that where that one is, but again, this entrance here could be breached as well fairly readily. So there's a lot of things you just can't do anymore. Let's just unpause the game. And we'll wait for things to come. Okay, we're trying to plant sweet pods. There's a whole lot of different bugs and things down through here. Human Lasher is visiting. When we came in, we had to clear the fortress. There's helmet snake teeth and stuff from when there was attacks going on when we first arrived. So we're still just setting up. Still got a lot to do. Here he is, just hanging out in the tavern. Let's have a quick look and see if we can find out where. Yeah, I thought that they'd be sort of cleaning all this out. This is where we're getting our rock from. This is the microline. And are we building? Not building much there. We do have microline blocks there, which is good. We need to get even more. I might just give them an order. Actually, no, I won't. I'll just let them. We just got that one happening automatically anyway. Dingo is fighting. Alright, so there was a fight out through here. We've caught another dingo out this way. There shouldn't really be any problems. If we have anyone injured, it'll show up down the bottom through there because we've got DF hack running. Yeah, so there's dingoes out here. There's 8 dingoes left and 1 Dwarf down below. And they'll just go and clear these cages. These cages are mainly here for wildlife. Here comes another dingo. Another one. Being chased away. Another one was caught there. we might even train the dingoes up. So we do have some animal caretakers. So we might go and sort that one out, actually. Our bedroom layer is in here. Oh, an elven caravan from Kovima circa Asira has arrived. I'm not really interested in trading with them, to be honest. So I think I'll just ignore them. Come with elephants. They're hauling limes. Bit of oranges, yeah. So here comes the elves. Yep, so we've got that alert. Okay, we're making more steel bars, which is good. There's a book out there. It's coated in the creeping soot, which blows across every so often. More dingoes, chasing them in. So they'll now sort of make their way through. To our trade area. This ultimately will get rid of this trade area. Look, I'll trade some things with them. I might as well just do it, I guess. Move goods to and fro. So we'll just trade them. I won't trade much because they often don't have things that we really want. So we'll have a quick look at the, which we trade with them, bracelets. Have all the bracelets and all of the crowns. We can't trade wood with them, so we've got no, we've just been making everything out of rock. So we'll go and trade, should we trade one more? Figurines. And again, nothing out of wood. Otherwise they become insulted. So I'm just going to move them across. What else have we got? Dingo. So Klingzog is fighting. The Tavern Keeper is fighting as well. So this will be outside, I would imagine. Again, no. Oh, we've got one injured citizen. Right, this is the Art of Stuttering. So the Art of Stuttering did actually get damaged here. So Dingo bites the Tavern Keeper in the lower body, bruising the fat through there. Bruising, it doesn't matter much. Yeah, bites the Tavern Keeper in the upper body, tearing the fat and bruising the muscle. So nothing much really. So that's not really a big problem. But these dingoes are a bit of an issue. So we'll need to deal with them, of course. Merchants have arrived. It's okay. We won't worry too much about the dingoes. So we'll just sort of let that sort of continue on. We'll just let everyone sort of just do what they're doing. So we're starting to bring the elements in. Yeah, these dingoes, they're actually getting quite involved. They're not dangerous, but they are annoying. Yeah, I'm not sure what we should. Yeah, they've got all their way down into here now. So we've got a few of them. But if we can actually tame them, we can then sort of use them, I think, as like as war dog type things, which again would be pretty cool. We might start to do that. Yeah, we've caught a lot of dingoes now. Yep, and we're sort of just, so the militia commander is sort of resetting these different things. There's a dingo left leg, which has now sort of been hit pretty hard. There's more dingoes outside. There's a dog. He's now injured as well. Okay, I'm going to tell the military, because 6 right here. Let's just go and get the military involved. Let's go and kill ourselves a dingo. Confirm. Now, did it get away? This dog is tired, it's in pain, and it is injured now. So it did actually get smashed a little bit. Now that's a puppy. This is actually somebody's pet. It's not a reanimating biome, so we don't have to worry too much about things that are happening. This one's still healthy. No, it's going to get away. All right, ignore that. Just go back to normal training, or staggered training. And we need to get this one inside as well. So I'm just going to go back in and just set up my zones again. So if I just go back in, now F1 takes me out here, which is not where I want to be. So I'm just going to go and change the hotkeys as well. So if I go down, the first hotkey I want is really the tavern. So this is like our main, actually probably not actually. I might make this one number 3. So if I just press the H key, I can then actually go through, and you can see down through here, I've actually got them all set up, but I haven't actually, I think this is from the previous one. So F1, I'm just going to make this one the, so it's overridden this first one, but it hasn't done anything else. So I'm going to call this one the fortress. Entry. And we'll do that one in a minute. The meeting hall is going to be F2, so we'll actually set this one up as there. sure you want to reassign this room. Yes, proceed. So these have been named from the previous run, actually, which is pretty cool. So meeting hall will now, just when we press F2, that will then sort of take us into there. Go down a bit more. H is going to be this is our workshop layer. So I'm just going to go and set this one up so that we end up sort of looking at around about here. So this is all of our workshops. So H, yes, proceed. Bedrooms is up, I think. Yep, so bedroom layer. Just go and set that one up in the middle there. H, should just get rid of the squads. H, bedrooms, yes, proceed. What was the next one? H is the farms. And they were over here. Okay, so we've got the farms there, then we've got the hospital. If I go to F2, hospital is just over here. And then the old entry, if I go to F1, this is the old entry. H, yes, proceed. And then we've got the fortress entry, which is up on this hill. This will be our the major zone that we actually end up having up this way. So that will be essentially our fortress. So this will be H and fortress entry there. So just replacing where the first one is. So we can at least now go back to the the important areas of the actual fortress itself. Now we've got 2 injured citizens now. Ishibashi is injured. Left arm is cut open. So yeah, just been bitten by the dingoes. Now, if we just go back down to the workshop layer, which was at F3, yep, it was. This is actually where we've got, now when we start to get animals wandering around, I just want to put them back into their zones. So we're going to need to build some doors in here just to make sure that we can sort of keep everything locked away. So we go and place, we need a door first. So we're still behind with what we're building a lot, actually. We've got a lot of things we need to be doing. So we'll go into here, doors, door, planner. So we'll get these things planned. And we will set these up as training zones for different animals, like the badgers, the dingoes, and stuff like this. So that ultimately will be where we end up trying to train the other animals. We've got a few animal caretakers, so that will ultimately be okay. It's only got 3 dingoes left in the wildlife. If we just go back to F2, back in through here, these guys are now ready to trade. Let's go and request the depot. We've got the broker is listening to a story. So broker requested at the depot. We'll then come back across. There we go. We can now trade. Back in here. So what do they have? Is there anything of any real use? Just lots of different sorts of food. Look, I will be I will trade with them. Let's just see what the amount is going to be. So if we do that one there, we've only got a value of 286. And get some peaches. That sounds good. Guavas. Pears. Limes. Very expensive here in Australia at the moment. I make salsa and the limes cost as much as anything, basically. It's quite a lot. Olives. Trader profit is still making a hell of a lot of profit here. Coconuts, olives again, limes again. We'll just keep on getting more of these. Some apricots. So with value is only 100 here. Like this is, we can get a lot. I'll just get any old stuff. All these different fruits. And it's now turned yellow. Just see if we can trade with that one. Yes, proceed. even with your combined trade goods such as they are, I can't fathom you ending up with the items you desire. So we need to just get rid of something. We just get rid of those olives, and when it turns green, trade, yes, proceed. There we go. Done. Okay, so we now no longer need the broker requested no trader needed at the depot anymore. So we have now traded with them. When they leave, it will then add to our exported wealth. We've got 3,500 exported so far, so that will just be another couple of hundred in there. So when the Dwarven caravan arrived in the previous autumn, we ended up sort of being able to trade a fair amount. This is another trigger for the actual fortress itself. So the fortress, the created wealth in the fortress is estimated at 24,500, and then the exported wealth is when the trade caravans successfully leave, that will then be the amount that they actually have. And also we can then go into the settings again and difficulty and look at the actual settings to see. This is the production triggers. So this, and then we've got the trade triggers down through here. There's 3 different triggers: the population of your fortress, the production of what you're producing in the fort, and you can see down through here at like a big siege is going to come at trigger 3 essentially. So we're sort of between 2 and 3 at this point in time with the value of our fortress. We're at 24,000, so we've got a long way to go to get to number 3 there. Trade wise, we're in between 2 and 3 as well, so we've traded 3,500, and also with the population triggers that we have, we're between 2 and 3. At 3, I didn't know this, but at 3 you can actually then, this is when you get your goblin sieges. So we need to get to 30 dwarves and just need to keep on building things up. So that's sort of what we're aiming for. Being saying zombie elephants would be brutal. It would indeed. Anyway, that's the... so we're sort of between level 2 and 3 in all of the metrics at this point in time. Let's continue on. That's been now placed. No one's praying there just yet. We'll just let the dwarves do what they're going to do. There should be somebody else coming back in. Clean them off. Fix them up. There's a loose dingo down. All right, well, we've got a dingo in the hospital zone. And again, yeah, we've got got more dingoes fighting. So only 3 dingoes. All right, now we've got the yeah. See, you can see there, William Chapman, the chief medical dwarf, cancels diagnosing patient because interrupted by a dingo. So we need to kill off that dingo made it inside. So we need to destroy this dingo in here. So we just go back to our military, get the guys, and kill that dingo off. Confirm. There's the other one. Oh, we've got migrants have just arrived as well. Cool, so we've got more people. Now, somehow this dingo has managed to escape. Just go and click on OK. Is it damaged? No, it's not damaged at all. Look at the health and the description. God, it's really zipping around. Let the guys do their stuff. We've got a stray cavy pupper. We'll have to go and sort all these different animals out. There's a really good way with using DF hack to do all of that. We'll come back to them. Let's just see. God, they're really making it. Like this dingo is. We've got Course Lord here with a spear. Let's just see what actually happens from the dingo's perspective. So if we go and have a look at this one here, the history, it's on pause there, which is good. So Spear Dwarf attacks a dingo, but it jumps away. So it's avoiding a lot of the attacks. So if I just let things sort of develop, strikes at the recruit, but the shot is blocked. Bashes the dingo in the head, bruising the fat. So this is good. We've got somebody now with a steel mace. Recruit charges a dingo. Dingo jumps away. Dingo strikes a recruit, but the shot is blocked. Misses the dingo. Attacks the recruit. Bashes the dingo in the right foot. Attack glances away. This thing is fairly strong. Spear Dwarf stabs a dingo in the upper body, tearing the muscle, shattering the left ribs. So now it's basically now going to be dead. It's now having trouble breathing, and recruit bashes the dingo in the upper body. So we can now see that the dingo is now surrounded by our military. So we will kill that one off. Let's have a look and see where the other dingoes actually are. So there's one there, one outside, and another one outside. So it's just those three. Let's just let the game run forward now. Bang, gone. So that dingo has now been mutilated. Let's go out and see who has arrived. I've got the stray cavy pup, which is coming in. And we should see... We've only got 20 population here. Alright, there's been no increase in dwarves, only with cavy pups. Let's have a look and see if we can see any others coming through. Oh, here we go. We've got a child, so a child has arrived. There's two cavy pups there. Here we go. Now we've got ourselves a herbalist again. These are useless. A stray horse foal. Is it female? We've got 2 males. Yes, it is. That's good. So we've got 1 male horse. So we're going to be able to breed horses. And we've got another animal caretaker. That's all we're getting at this stage. We've got ourselves a stray yak calf. And a presser. Again, useless. A gem cutter. That's actually useful. That's a good one for us to have. A siege engineer. Awesome. Okay, we're getting some good people now. So she will actually be useful. Again, no hair. And we've got even more unhappy people now. But we're up to 26, 27, a clothier, a fish cleaner, which we're not really worried, we're not really using, and a bookbinder, not really all that useful. A farmer. We've now hit the population trigger for the sieges. Cicerian saying, well, I just had ChatGPT create me a hair control mod for DF hack. I just downloaded the files and we'll work on testing it. Should be configurable amount of baldness based on gender and forces more beards onto bald dwarves. If ChatGPT did it correctly, that is. See, I don't like having, I like that females don't have beards and all the males do. It's a very easy way to be able to spot them. So I can tell that's a female straight away. So I personally, I don't like having the beards on the female dwarves. It just makes it harder to spot who's who. More coming in. So we've got a dwarven child. So we're now over that population trigger. And what are you? Miner. Excellent. Excellent. So we can actually have another dedicated miner. That's Con. Only a novice, but that's actually all right. I'm going to need to do more Ashira. Okay, not all that useful. God, we're getting a heap. Another woodworker. And a mason. Excellent. They're getting some good ones here. Another just a stray water buffalo calf. Another stray cavy pup. And an animal caretaker. Useless. Child. Animal caretaker again. Peasant. What sort of skills have you got? I like seeing them as they come in. I'm looking also at their skin colour. If there's anything that's sort of like bluey white, we can think that they're going to be vampires. We do have the vampirism ramped up a fair bit in this particular one, so we should end up with some vampires at some point, just with the difficulties that I've got established. Skills. Really nothing. Nothing at all. It's going to be another peasant, I guess. Yeah. This one here is the skills. That one's another poet. Peasant. Animal caretaker. A rabbit. God, they're still coming in thick and fast. Trader. We're up to 43 now. Wow, this is a lot. This is going to really, really ramp up what we can do in the fortress. Falcon's saying, can you retrain someone so they don't have useless skills? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and that's, in fact, one of the things with when we get so many useless people, we can train them up to be military. So we can actually give them combat skills, so if we needed to do it. So that's an actual trader now. Let's have a look at the skills here. This is the... dancer, social, oh yeah, this one's good. This one here, I think we've now got a new manager. So remember, guys, if you do want to have any of the dwarves named, I will let you pick and choose the ones that are coming through. But I'm thinking we're going to need to create like a second military group as well. So we'll end up sort of going that way, and sort of working our way through. But this lady is actually really, really good at all sorts of different things. If she's not the new mayor in very, very quickly, there's something wrong. And we've now also hit the trigger for I think it might be 40 or 50. I think it might be 50 actually, to actually then be able to set up our own nobility. Got this even more, some more kids, and that is it. Right, so we've got 44. We've more than doubled just with that one population, with that one group coming through. Now, again, with the migration waves, very important that you do your trading, because the trading will then actually allow you to tell the mountain homes that it's worth sending people out here. So this is becoming, we've now got like a lot of dwarves that have now just arrived. Most of our existing dwarves are unhappy, but you know, the new ones are. She's even some of the new ones aren't all that happy. But anyway, let's just get everything sorted. Now we've got all these different animals that have now arrived as well, like the cavy pups and things like this. I've got all these dingoes that we're going to have to go and sort out. Is that still the injured animal? Where is he? There. Yep, this is the injured dog. Hopefully he'll be okay. But anyway, we'll just go down through now and sort of set up the zones for the animals. So as they come back through, we're sort of picking up. They're going to be cleaning out these zones and sorting things out a little bit better for us fairly soon. Smoothing out all of this, which is good. So the dwarves that aren't doing anything are now starting to smooth. There's a dingo blood. Now the dingo has been taken away already, and what should have happened there is that the dingo corpse should have. In fact, if I do a look in stocks here for dingo, it may have already been done. We've got dingo. We've got globs and meat. So the dingo has already been butchered. So the dingo has already been made into dingo meat, and there should be dingo skin. If we go and have a look down through here, so was it in here? This is turkeys. Have been dingo in through this other side. We've got dingo tripe, mangled nervous tissue, dingo skulls, mangled skin. So the skin was destroyed, which is not going to be all that good. So it means that the leather, there's badger leather in there. And we don't actually have much in there as well. So we have leather in this stockpile, but there's only badger leather in that stockpile as well. And there's nothing in that particular butcher shop. All right, so in this case, it looks like Began again. Yeah, that's our battle mode, sorry. We've got battle mode, is part of our military. It will actually ultimately, if we have a look at items, we've got the steel mace, etc., etc. So our military is sort of establishing itself there. I think that what we'll do with now we've got so many, we're going to need to get like an archer, like a group that can then sort of go and protect the fortress using crossbows. So we might sort of set that one up eventually. Maybe not just quite yet. What else do we need to do in here? Are they making blocks? There's no orders given here. Might just have a quick look at the work orders. These are all the different work orders that we have. Where is our blocks? We need to be making microline blocks. This one here. Let's just see what we need to do. Amount of microline, at least 20. So we don't have enough to keep on making the blocks, and I need that. I want to make it, just for neatness sake, I want to keep them all at the top. There's all microline walls back and through here as well. So what I think I'll do is I will go and dig out more locations here just to get more microline. So we can just create more blocks, and I'll set these up as more workshops ultimately. So just different workshop areas, and I'll set up another zone in here, and we'll set up another training zone up this way as well. That'll do. We'll just go and see what else the workers are doing. dug out. This is actually where we're trying to bury the old fortress. Get that one sort of established down through there. So that's the bottom of the fortress there. What else are we doing here? We were trying to dig all this out. I'm going to need to get another miner established, just so we can sort of get things done. This is a lot of the skeletons that we had established in through here. Yes, we're sort of putting different bits and pieces in. So some migrants there will now come back through, making rock pots. It's all okay. Come a spear dwarf. Lots of wine and stuff just stored in that location. I'm going to end up with other things just sort of all over the place. And I'll eventually come through and clean up everything we've actually got. We've got a lot more drink stored in here as well. I think everything else is actually okay. Just looking now for things that I should have done. I'll just go back to F1. That's now been set up all the way around there. That one needs to be resume construction. We do need to keep on building the outer wall in here, but I don't think I've got the blocks. I'll just see if I can do it. So constructions. This is going to be reinforced walls. I'm going to hide the planner. And in this case, I want microline blocks. There we go. We've got only one. No, that's not going to do any good. So I'll just wait until I've got more blocks built. So I need to keep on mining more of the microline. Okay, so I've got sidetracked. I'll just go down to my this layer down through here. This is my seed layer, but I'm actually putting down the dogs and cats in here at this stage. So I'm just going to go into the zones. Actually, that one there, yeah, that's all still going. So this is going to be my seed stockpile ultimately, but we'll just go into the pen and pasture. Now, if I use the DF hack to assign the actual pen and pasture for these different animals, what I can do here is I can actually set up like a something to actually then go and fix everything else up. So if I go back into, this is actually my my filters and my and sorting. Sorting doesn't really matter that much, but you can see I've got like a group of them that are assigned here at this point in time, the cats and dogs, but then there'll be other ones that possibly aren't here as well. So if I just go back across to, I'm going to exclude all the grazers, so I'm going to exclude them completely. I'm going to exclude all the egg layers, which should then just leave everything that can be then placed in this particular location. But I'm also getting all these things in cages. And what I can then go and do is actually go through the minimum status and then the maximum status. So I don't want to have, if I go and click on the maximum status, so minimum status is assigned here. I'm just going to go and click the next one up from that one. That will be in other, so the minimum status is now in other pastures, but then they go from there to anywhere else, including just roaming around. So I'm just going to go and keep on doing this one until we get rid of this is in another pit or pond, on restraints, inbuilt cages, in loose cages, and then just roaming around. And so I can see down through here, by doing that little filter there, I've just got one that needs to come back into here. So with that one through there, I'm just going to go and click on it, and it's going to be then assigned. So I can sort of filter my way through the list, which can be, so till we get exactly what we do want. So if I just go and right click on that one, so that injured puppy will then go back into here. This one here, what I wanted to be doing is going and getting all of the essentially all the other animals. So if I go back across again to DF hack assign, I do want the grazers. Like if I only go to grazers, we can then sort of see that there's a lot that are just wandering around in here, like the cavy pups, horse foal, the buck rabbit, which is somebody's pet. These are all things that need to be assigned here. So I can actually just go and click on auto, like assign all or none. But if I go and just go and again click on these to go with minimum status assigned, anything that's roaming at that point will then sort of it'll capture everything that we want to have in there. So if we had caught something in the wild that was also a grazing animal, it would then still show up. So we can just keep on filtering it out until we don't actually have it. And at that point I can just assign all. So they're now all going to be assigned down into that particular one. And the other one that we need to do is just go back up to F2. No, F4, F3, F3, and just come back to this one here. And so we'll just go into a zone into the other side. And this one here with DF hack assign. And so I want to make sure that it's only the egg layers. And so you can see down through here, we've got eagles and emus have also been caught in cages. But I just want to make sure that we get everything else. So I'm just going to go and keep on filtering the minimum status. So they're in cages. In fact, there's nothing else that's loose at this point in time. So there's no matches there. That's fine. So we'll leave them there. So all of the turkeys should now be assigned to that particular location, which is fine. So Grimnar is saying, is there a good way to get rid of useless animal parts? Eventually it needs to go into like a refuse stockpile. They get thrown away. So there, if we have a look at where I've got my refuse stockpile, I've got like this is this stockpile in here is a corpse stockpile. So this is ultimately where there's going to be like some corpses will be thrown into here, and then this one over through here is a refuse stockpile with rubbish. And if we go into custom, we can sort of see all the different things like the body parts and stuff like that we just are throwing away. So in this case, that's actually what's happening in there. And so I need a bigger zone. And so what I've done is I've told the guys to dump a lot of this stuff. And outside we have a dumping zone for when we have just too much stuff in here. So eventually they'll come and start to haul this outside. And also all of these different, like these teeth, these are all teeth from actual, like from dwarves. They'll be buried with the dwarves once we actually can build what they have. So I don't want to be throwing these away. These are part of the burial that we actually have. But goblin left arm, I don't care about the goblin stuff. So troglodyte first finger, I'm just going to chuck all this stuff away. So, and when I chuck it away, I then make more space in the stockpile for other things. Goblin right hand. So I'm guessing that a lot of this will just be goblin bits and pieces. That's a named goblin element. And so these will then be thrown outside, which will then make more space for skeletons from our guys. If I just go through, it's a bit of micromanagement to do all this. I could actually again just go to stocks, goblin. If we go, actually it's not even going to show us here because it's not of any real value, all this stuff. What's that one there? That's Freezeren's left foot. So I want to be burying that with Freezeren. So with the, we're just using, but I need to mine this all out. Now with the miners, I'm just going to quickly go across now because we did pick up another, we've got a novice miner. I'm going to make the novice miner in here. I'm going to go and make that one a dedicated miner. Kujagrim is the manager of the fortress. Let's go and fix that up as well. Woodcutters. We've got a couple there that can go and do it with the woodworker, and we've got this new one as well. Let's just go and assign both of those to it, so they'll actually do wood cutting when it's required. Hunters, we don't want anybody doing that one. Planters, everybody can go and do it. So basically everyone goes off and does that particular one. Zaradin is locked down for what? We actually have Cause Lord is a dumper, but not dedicated. Actually, Zaradin is the expedition leader, but also the main miner. Yeah, so he's actually locked down into mining. That's okay. Stone cutters, basically everyone does that one as well, which is fine. Engravers, that's fine as well. We do have a couple of novice engravers. Competent stone cutter there as well. A presser. If I click on that one, it'll be sort of designated then as a stone cutter, but I think I'll just leave that one off. Everyone does hauling, orderlies. This is like doing different sorts of wound dressing and suturing and stuff like that one. But again, this is just helping out in the hospital. We don't have anyone with any skills, so everyone has to do that one as well. Siege operators. Now, we did actually pick up a siege operator. One of the guys came through with skills there. Not sure why it's not showing up. Oh, it might be instead of siege operator, I think it's actually a siege builder. for building siege weapons. We haven't started doing that at all yet. We've got a little way off yet. Now this is what do we have in here? This is a helmet snake left fang. Throw that one away as well. As I sort of see these things, I'll just designate them for dumping outside, because we just don't need these sorts of fangs and things around. Yeah, there's heaps of them in here. And what have we got in there? Just one there as well. So if I just go into here and just go into dump. And so what will happen with these will then, the dumped items will then be placed outside. And so they'll go out. So these are sort of like refuse piles where we can actually control what's there. And these can be useful for all sorts of different things, like making weaponry or crafts. So some of the bones are actually, it's good to have a bit of a bone stockpile. And if we just go back up the top again to F7 out here, we then got the this is actually our zone out here, which is actually another refuse pile. This is actually a garbage dump, and so anything that we throw away gets put out in here. So you can see there's lots and lots of different skeletons and things just from rubbish skeletons that we don't need to worry about, and this will eventually just rot away. So what have we got through there? This is red shirt is not carrying anything, no job at this stage. Anyway, that's sort of where we are. So let's let the fortress now run forward again, and don't know what we want to have a look at. I've sort of now sorted out the animals. I keep on thinking that I've got somebody now that I need to go and fix up. We didn't have anyone else that was good at hospitals, I don't think. If we go back in and have another quick look at the at who we actually have, we've only got the one medical dwarf. If I have a look at another doctor here, no one's got any other skills. That's okay. But if we give roles to dwarves, they'll end up being good at that particular skill. They'll get better and better. Train battle emus, says Atomic Ant. Yeah, actually we can train anything, and I've got like those 3 different rooms. We just need to get the doors established. Oh, here we go. This is good. Now this is what we want to do here is actually build more areas where we can then essentially block this off, and then have like large areas to block off the rest of the fortress. So I'm going to so this is like a bit of a safety zone if they do take the top of the fortress. So we'll just go back into here, constructions. This will be a bridge. I want it raising from that surface there to lock off this door. And we'll just go across from there, 4x4. And I don't want to be using microline for anything, so I'll just make this out of we've got like ginkgo wood logs and stuff. Just make it out of that for now, and I'll do the same over here as well. Here comes the injured dog being taken downstairs. There we go, we've got this one now established as well. Just go back across, constructions, bridge. This one's going to be raising from the north. And we'll make that out of ginkgo logs as well. So these are going to be 2 more bridges. Now ultimately, we're going to get rid of this from in here fairly soon and build this one up at the top of the fortress once we actually establish the top. But I need to get the microline blocks done. Let's keep on having a look to see what you've got microline in here. Do we have enough? Are they building blocks yet? Yeah, making rock blocks, good. What are you doing? Making rock blocks there as well, that's good. So we need to get a lot more blocks built. And then we're now sort of establishing all of these different areas. So we've got a dedicated miner there. So we need more rocks. I think I'll just keep on, because this is all microline, let's just keep on building up the zones here. Not that we're going to make use of it, but we'll just make a big area for more workshops, just in case. Yep, so we're making more rock blocks, and we need heaps and heaps of them for the top of the fortress. Oh, Savish, the animal caretaker, withdraws from society. So we've got somebody now in a strange mood. These are always really cool. Let's just go and pause that for a second. And actually, one thing with the way I play the fortress as well, which Salford Sal actually told me about it, which I thought was such a good way to do it. If you go into your settings, like it makes it much more digestible to slow the speed down of the game, and so you can actually go down and have a look at the game itself, where you've got like the how fast it's actually going, and so there is an FPS cap, and I forget where it actually is. But by default, it's fairly high, like it's 50, I think. I think I have it. I forget where it actually is now. It's in here somewhere. But it just makes the fortress still move along, but not at a super high rate. Not seeing it there. It's funny. Video. It should be in here. Oh, there we go. Graphical FPS default is 50. I've just got that on halved, and so Salford Sal actually said that that's a nice way to just have the fortress still move along, but not at the super speed that you sort of see, that you tend to see. So anyway, that's why I'm still pausing a lot, but it's things are, you can see things happening as things actually do go on there. So Savesh, let's go and find Savesh, and again we've got. Where's Savesh? There we go. Animal caretaker. A peculiarly secretive, strange mood, which means we're not going to be able to find out easily what they want. But we have a lot of things in the fortress now, so I'm thinking that won't really be a problem. So where are they going? Now that's interesting. They're moving off to kick someone out of one of these areas. So they've now taken over that particular. That was a forge, a metal forge, and so this ultimately, I don't know if the particularly secretive ones end up with them being like a master smith at the end of it, but that would be awesome if that's the case. So we end up with one of our useless animal caretakers ultimately being a very, very good, good at what they're doing. So now it's just going off and picking up different things. It's going off to grab a bone. So this is why you want to have some bones around. And then back to there again. It's now going to go back off and get something else. And picking up a piece of rock. And if we just go and right click, it says work secretly. Let's just see if it's happened. So yeah, so Savish is now has claimed a metalsmith's forge and has begun a mysterious construction. So it's got everything that it needed. Now we've got the creeping soot is outside. Rock pots are complete. God, how many dingoes have we got? We've got 5 more dingoes. In here. Still got the 2 injured. Oh, there's another injured. The siege engineer, Rakust, is coming in and is a bit injured. Again, not going to be all that much of a problem, I don't think. Anyway, what's the other second injured dwarf? Yeah, the other one's still. This is another animal caretaker. These dingoes are becoming a bit of an issue. Interrupted by dingoes. They're stopping a lot of what we're doing in through this other side. These, I'd always like to have these smoothed out properly, and unfortunately they don't smooth underneath this sort of stuff. We might change where that one actually. Oh, look, I'll just leave it there. That'll be okay. That'll be all right. You've got so many unhappy dwarves. God, they really don't like it here. Not sure what the go is there. Could be the dingoes. Could be all sorts of different things. Anyway, let's just keep it sort of running along. Now these bridges have now been built, but they haven't been connected to anything, and I ultimately want this to be my lever room and make it even bigger again. So I might not connect those up properly just yet until we actually end up with a big problem. Now the dingoes. God, what are we going to do about that? Dead dingoes there. And we need to reset these cage traps. We're getting stuff in from outside now, which is good. Would work her out this way. Well, let's just let it go for a little while, and I'm trying to figure it all out ultimately. Yeah, there's nothing else back in through there. Yeah, I think I'll just let that one go. Yeah, just waiting for these guys to leave now. So can't you look up the unhappy dwarves and see why they're unhappy? It says union ID. Yeah, we did that earlier. Like if we have, there's so many of them, and one thing we can do is just have a quick look at the DF hack. Go to the GUI launcher and just go to all needs to see what needs are required. Pray or meditate is by far the biggest one, and we've actually now given a location there for that one through there, and be with family is another big one, and be with friends. So we've tried to address these as much as we possibly can. So there's nothing much else we can do there really. So we're sort of stuck with that one. Now, we've set up other rooms over through here. I might actually increase the size of this lever room. Need to just get more of rock so that we can actually then go and do different things. So temples and taverns then I suppose, yeah. So we've got the temples now established here, which no one's using, and the taverns established here. So we've done what we can. So we can't do much else really. What are they eating? Limes. All right. Actually, one thing we're not. Are we making enough food? Prepared meals. That's brewing drink. So we'll look at the. Let's just go to add new task. Prepare easy meals. If we just go and pop that one on, just make a few of these. If we have a quick look at the meals. Oh yeah, we've got a lot. Got a lot there. Got biscuits everywhere. All right, so no, we don't need to worry about them anymore. So we've got stews and even roasts. So we've got some pretty. We've got a big selection of prepared meals there for the dwarves, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's not really a problem. One Schweinhut redeemed a custom reward. It's always great to be a part of something one does not understand. All right, so you've got a big choice. Let's have a quick look at our military. So I'm guessing that's probably where you'd be wanting to gravitate. Let's have a look at our guys. Everyone in the military has now got equipment, which is good to see. So Serian is the last one that's actually in there. We did have another one that was actually not bad in the military, from a military perspective. Let's have a quick look at the... so I don't have any more in that military, but I'm going to be needing another group at some point. Let's go back to the squads. So at least they've all got they're getting their equipment up. That's just a peasant. We're going to be wanting to get like a second military group established. In fact, what I could now do is actually I can tell my military to now start to do dedicated training. That will then take 10 of them out of the equation here. So it will leave me with 34 dwarves to do the work. I think we might do that actually. Let's just go back into these guys, give them this schedule of, instead of staggered training, and we're not seeing any of them actually doing any training. If we go back to edit the orders here, I think I may have set it up incorrectly. Minimum number of orders to follow is all 10. Always equipped. And they can sleep anywhere they like, but they're not actually. We're not finding that they're actually doing any training. So the embattled axe will actually make this one now do constant training and just get their skill level up, because we have a lot of incompetent military dwarves. So we'll get them sort of training away now. And if we go and edit this one again, they're going to be always equipped, sleep anywhere that they like. That's okay. I'm happy enough for that. So that will then sort of take our military out of the equation to a large degree, which is actually fine. Now, what else do we need to do? Yeah, so we'll still be coming through in here. So we are getting more microline, and we do need more microline blocks. But we now should have a fair few. So let's now just go up to the top of the fortress again and just keep on building this this wall. And also we now actually have that one there is actually did I do a, that's an upward slope. I need to do more than that. It needs to be up there. It needs to actually have a wall to go and place that one. I've screwed this one up. I'm just going to go and come back in and deselect all of those and make them into walls. That needs to be a wall, not a ramp. It's a ramp that goes nowhere. I could make it come up to here. Actually, if I do that, no, then it only leaves me with one. I ultimately probably want to have some sort of trap system built in there. So I'll get rid of those ramps and we'll just unpause and let them sort of come through as well. But we can now start to build the microline blocks back in around here. So build constructions, reinforce wall, and microline blocks. We need 8 of those. And copper bars. I need one in the corner there as well. Echidna is fighting now. A prophet is visiting. That's good. So the military is just sort of... Whoa! Here we go. So this is actually Savesh, the animal caretaker, has crafted Lelmerol, a thin steel left gauntlet. He claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor Izum, Princess Hovel. So, so he's claimed it for himself. Let's just, I can pause that one. Now it still should be sitting there. So there he is. Now he is now an armourer after doing that. So if we have a bit of a look, he's now a legendary armor smith. So this is now something that we can really start to make use of, where he is actually going to be doing pretty much, we possibly will actually just have him do everything in the fortress from this point forward. So actually, if we want to find it, we didn't actually give you a character. Do you want? Maybe we'll give you this one here, because I don't think we've got anyone left in the military. Let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, they've all been named. I'll give you this guy. Let's close this one off. So yeah, so this by doing that secret things, if we go to the skill, so he's a level 16 armor smith, and he'll ultimately end up becoming better at weaponsmithing as well. But making armor is really what he does. So I'm going to I'll give this one to von Schweinhund. C-H-W-E-I-N-E Hund. There we go. So von Schweinhund, the armor smith. Well, we can actually give them their own location as well, just to do different things. But I think I'll just leave that one there. You know, I'm going to actually change the work orders. So we've got engravers, haulers. I've got dump operators if I need them. Let's go and add a new work detail. This will be custom number 2. This will be armor. Armor smith. There we are. Actually, it's one word, I think. Armor smith, and only the selected do this. So that's what we're going to have, and then we have to go in and actually set up what they actually do. So with the actual job that they're going to be doing, we've got metal smithing, armoring. So that one there is, now if I do metal smithing there, it's a whole lot. But I'll just do armoring in that side there. I don't think it'll be anything else. Hauling, yeah, that's all it. So just making armor. So that's going to be a dedicated job just for that one through that side. Just go and click on done. It'd be cool if they had different icons that you could then make use of. And so in this case, we've got a talented armor smith there as well. But the legendary one, let's just go and do that. We've got 3 of them actually. So we've got Ecor as well, the bookbinder is talented. I'll just have one of them. I should allow both of them to do it. If he's talented, it means that he will also then do a good job. But we'll just make it so that they're the only 2 that will be able to actually do this particular role. We might have a look at Ecor and see what he does. So that's in there. Let's go back to skills. Level 6. So we'll let him sort of also come back up as well. So we'll end up with 2 of them sort of working when there's armor to be built. And there's always armor to be built usually. But we may not have the steel. Yeah, we've got no steel in here yet. So, and we're starting to now pick up the armor. So we've got steel greaves. We can go and we can get rid of some of this stuff, like the stuff that's not very good quality. We can actually remelt it down to get the steel back from it. We'll have a quick look in here as well. Iron long swords, we can't make use of that. Let's go and melt that one down. Copper warhammers and things, these are all sort of useful. I'll just leave them where they are. These are high boots. Actually, how did the leather high boot get in here? This should only be metal. We've got a lot of stuff in here. These are all stuff that's not, aren't steel. Let's go back into this stockpile. Now, here we go. It's other materials. So metal in through here was everything except for steel. Other materials, none. So we don't want to have any other materials. That way we just get rid of the leather. So this is all just metal. And we'll have a quick look down here in this one as well. Let's go to custom. And we've got metal, we've got stone, none of those, and no other materials as well. That's good. Okay, so that's now just going to actually have, so this is going to be like our stockpile for other things. We do actually have like a fair bit of silver, a fair bit of copper now as well. Okay, Neeps has redeemed a custom reward for the manager. Oh yes, that's right. We've got the new manager. We keep on forgetting to put that one in. Let's go and change that. So if we go back across, now we have Kujagrim is everyone, the broker, the bookkeeper, and the manager. But if we go back and actually take Kujagrim away from that one through there, and we can then sort of go and see that we end up with the new one, the new trader here. His proficient, is competent all the way across. There's a lot of them actually with some competency there. But this one is an actual trader. Skilled judge of intent. I think it's come up the very, very top. And we can see down through there, Kujagrim is way down the bottom here. Hardly any skills at all. So I think we change this one over. So Lamb will be the new everything really in terms of what we need to do. So let's just go across. Now Kujagrim is skilled record keeper still, but Lamb is a novice. I think we can still flick that one across. I'll make Lamb the new manager, bookkeeper, back into here as well. Yeah, Lamb again, novice organizer. So we'll put Lamb in charge of the of managing the fortress. And so if we now just go back down to F2, this is the slot that we end up having through here. Now we can auto assign the role to be the bookkeeper. So Lamb will now take that role automatically with D of Hack. So that's now sorted out that requirement. is now done, which is good. And so now lamb is where? Did I go past it? Must have. There we are. Off constructing a building at the moment out here. So there's lamb, and this will be the new. This will be Neemst. So a better person in charge there. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. Make some more soda water. Now, just reading a few more of the comments. What are we up to? So, yeah, Dwarf Fortress on the cornerstones of hardcore PC gaming, says Stardagger. You're absolutely right. I'd also stopped coming at all. I knew that they'd be mad about the trees, but I thought they'd attack. Yeah, no, they can cause. They can go to war over things that you then go and do. Is there a good way to get rid of useless animal parts? We did that one, I think. Don't they rot though and sit there forever? No, it's only if you end up with pieces of them that have been chopped off. If you've processed them in the butcher's shop and you've just got them full of like tripe and stuff like that you're not really making use of, they won't rot there, I don't think. Some things rot if they're not been stored properly, so that's actually one of the issues. Yeah, I'm not sure how that sort of then goes and works. So, but normally they will just, if they're like those things, will just be sitting there for ages until there's a place for them to go. Yeah, so Grim is then saying, I found they ended up with a ton of things like rooster skulls that I couldn't do anything with, or nervous systems and stuff. Yeah, this is actually where we've got our throwaway area outside at the moment, which is sort of like a standard way of doing it, but you can also create like a dump zone into lava, for example, where you just literally just tell the dwarves to throw it away. Like just use the dump command, which is this one down in here. So you can sort of go and do that one, or just click on it on like an area and just tell it to go and be dumped. Like if I go and click on anything, usually there'll be like a dump area where I can just tell it to go and throw it away, and that will then go to a refuse zone outside, which is what we're sort of seeing back over under here. This is our refuse zone there. So things that get thrown away are being thrown away into here. So that's sort of where stuff is being dumped to. And some things will automatically be sort of designated that way. What else have we got there? And so the Drewster is saying, thanks for that the FPS tip. That answers one of my gripes, having to pause so often to see what's going on. You can change it right down to make it sort of like quite slow, like so you can actually sort of go and do that one. And that was Salford Sal actually told me about that one, which I thought was such a good little tip. It's really quite a good tip, but to actually have that one. So no, it's a good one, that one. Now what else do we have? So we'll just keep on going through there. And yeah, Walmart Boo is saying, did you lie on your resume, Neemst? Hi, Essador, how are you going? So anyway, that's all now thumping along. We want to get these established. I can't easily build into a corner once I sort of have this one done. I'm probably going to end up building down here as well. I might just even start to, once we get this one established, because we've now pretty much got a locked in area. I'm going to keep this one open until we're ready to work on that one. Let's just unpause. But even this FPS is probably a little bit too fast, to be honest, for me. These corner ones are important. I might just go and just tell them to make it. Actually, we've already got somebody who's coming in to do that one. It's hard for them to put things in the diagonal. Like that one was. I'm surprised they could do that one, to be honest. Now that they've done that, these two then can now easily be sorted out. So we'll just go and fix that one up. And yeah, so we'll just go back across. Sorry, just thinking about other things that I need to do with this. And microline blocks, we've got 11 of those now, so that's 4 of them. And copper bars, we've still got 61 of those as well. So the reinforced walls are very hard for anything to break through. These should have been taken down. Let's go through all of these. Yeah, there's lots of different stuff in through there. Dingoes are still fighting. No one's injured anymore. Merchants are leaving soon, that's fine. So hauling the bits and pieces required to build this. Oh, here we go. So we've got Geyserone from the previous fortress now has risen and is haunting the fortress down in here. So haunting the, and this is going to make people even more. Actually, we've got one that's now moved back out from there. That we had 11 at one stage. So they're becoming a little bit friendlier, a bit happier. So it just takes a bit of time. Now, this one here, Geyserone has come through as a ghostly spear dwarf. We mustn't have been able to bury Geyserone. And if we have a look, I don't know if we can see. No, it's not going to actually allow us to search for that one. But there may be, if we go to F1, F2, there's Zaradin's Mangled Skeleton, Dino Dance back in through there, Atomic Ant, Mangled Skeleton, Resmalin's Mangled Skeleton. These are all from the previous fortress where things sort of went bad. Now we've also then got, as we sort of come back down, what we've been doing is trying to establish, in fact we should now be able to place the dead in here. Not quite enough there just yet. They're still building what they've got. Let's just go and make this one. You can see that we've now got some holes because they're throwing stuff outside. I'm just going to go across and with the stockpile itself, view the stockpile, and we'll just go and repaint the stockpile. So we'll just keep on adding more into that one. And similarly with this one here, just going to go and go back to the stockpile, repaint, and I'll just go up into this zone. This will allow me to at least get rid of the skeletons that were floating around, and eventually once this all gets mined out we'll then sort of look after it properly. But this again is just to allow us to actually have these big refuse, like the corpse area, and so Geyserone is probably in here somewhere, I would guess. Syrian, there he is. So Geyserone's Mangled Skeleton is sitting here. It hasn't been buried, it hasn't been honoured yet, so things are sort of just thumping along. We need more, actually why aren't we building more coffins? Making rock pots. No, it is queued up. So it's part of the, like when you see a little tick, it means that that's been now given as a work order. So we do have a lot of coffins that we have to then go and build. And if we have a bit of a look further down, so we now have this Kuja Grimm's has now been placed into that one. Nobody's been placed into that one there. So we just slowly are building up this zone through here, but we have to get rid of this ghost. The ghosts don't actually harm anything, but they do cause, they freak the dwarves out, and we really can't afford to do that anymore. So what we'll do is we will go and, yep, they've embarked on their journey, that's good. And again, we've got more stuff where the dingoes are causing more of an issue. I would like to train them up, actually. I think that they would be good war dogs, or sort of being able to be trained for war type things. I just need to get doors built as well. If we go back up into here, what are we building? Yeah, we've got rock doors, rock coffins. So we're now starting to get a bit of a list. There we go. Automatically, it's actually going to be making a engraved memorial to Geyserone. Let's go and make that the most important thing in this location. And here we go. Somebody's coming in to go and work on that one. So this is DF hack, just comes back in, and so we've got a, so somebody's actually now going to be doing that one. As soon as that's been built, and as soon as that disappears, I'm going to pause the game, just so we can then go and place it. There we go. All right, so that's now been done. So we've now got the microloan memorial to Geyserone. I'm just going to go back down to where I've been placing everyone, which is along here. So as we have ghosts, we're going to then just honor them by putting tombstones down this way. So I'll just quickly go this way, go to furniture, go to slabs, click that one through there, and there's our memorial to Geyserone. So that will then be placed. There goes the elves. Yep, so it's been put to rest. That's now been placed there. Now with that gauntlet that we had as well, if we have a quick look at the what are these ones? Oh, he's got an artifact with him. So that's an artifact out there. I might put that somewhere inside. We've got that one established there, and that one's still sitting back in there as well. I'll go and place that one in the central area. So we'll go and create like more of these pedestals. We've got silver pedestals there. Do we have any more? If we just go back into furniture and displays, no. I'm going to go and go back down into my workshop layer and just come back across into these sorts of metalsmith areas. We've got a lot of silver. So we'll go into making other objects, I think it is, silver pedestals. There we are. And we'll just go and make a few of these. Other objects, silver pedestals. So these will actually then create value as well. Other objects, silver pedestals. Just get 4 of them done. Orangutan's library has risen as haunting the fortress, so that's going to now be another one where there'll be another element being added in here at some point automatically. Oh, I've been put to rest. I'm not sure where. We get a lot of these. Now, it could be if they're buried, that can be it as well. Don't know why it's showing it up in here. Now, maybe where the ghost was. These guys are now all training up now, which is good, and we can sort of see that they've got like a smattering of different sorts of equipment. So it's not the best equipment. And we can just quickly go and have a look to see if there's any problems with the equipment they've got. Yeah, so when we have a look at this one, some of their footwear is not right. So we've got, and some of them they don't actually have the correct backpacks and water skins. So if I go and do detect conflicts, I can then go and sort of see that there's various problems here with socks and shoes sort of getting in the way of different sorts of things. So I'm just going to go and try to resolve the conflict, and then we need to update the equipment. So it's now it's detect conflict. Okay, no conflicts at the moment. I just needed to go and tell them to go and update equipment, which will then tell all of the military to go and just have a look at what they've got to try to sort out any of the issues. So if we just click on that button there, they will then sort of wander off and try to sort out their issues. So they'll do another reset of what they're doing there. Yep, so we've got an equipment mismatch there in these other sites. Now, dingoes are still causing an issue. There's only one dingo left out here. That should be okay. Now we're not quite building enough of what we need. This is doing pretty well in here now. Cloth. We don't want cloth out in here. We want that really down in here. This should be where we end up with the cloth. So I'm just going to go and change a stockpile here. Accept, and this will be cloth. I can go into custom, but I'm just going to keep it all there actually. What I'll do is I might make it a bit bigger. Make this whole region here just for cloth. Just a generic one, we'll accept that. And I can then just go back up to the top stockpile that I had. Oops, where is it? F2. And just come back up into this one here. Custom. This is my catch-all for everything. Just go to cloth and just go none. So anything at all to do with cloth will now be taken further down into the fortress. I'm going to be wanting to block this off with another drawbridge. So I'm going to go and just go back in and remove that. So because what I need to do is I need to make another drawbridge there as well, just to try to sort of stop anything that may come in this way. So we have to be really careful now with what we do. So this probably will fail a few times. And I'll make this one out of pecan wood logs. What do I need? There's 3. Let's go back up the top of the fortress again. So F1. Not able to get rid of this. Why is that? We have a quick look at the tasks that we have. There should be remove. Yeah, they're all going off to get better equipment. Construct building down through there. There's all the different coffins and things. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like another, I'll make it different again. So let's just go back in and just go to constructions, and we're just going to make a wall, just a normal wall through here. And we'll make this out of, just out of logs. And I'll have the ramp come up the other side. What was that? Don't know. So we'll actually go and build another ramp on the other side of this. And I'll make this out of logs as well. Got petitions, people wanting to join. Yeah, Dingo's still fighting. Oh, we've got 5 injured citizens now. Ooh, what? They're inside. They were inside. Yes, we've got dwarven blood in through here. There's none more. Let's just go and fix up the hospital zone. We've sort of run out of space in here now. Let's just go and smooth out these walls to start with, but I've actually now got a location in here. So we'll just go across into furniture, beds, planning mode. So we need a bed, we need a table as well. Okay, that's one that doesn't exist yet. And we need traction benches. For setting bones. Right, so we'll deck that one out. So that way we're going to have up to 10 patients in the hospital at any one point in time. All right, in they come. Only 3 injured citizens now. We don't have we don't actually have a sand zone, and it's a bit dangerous. The zone that we do actually have where there is sand available, which is sort of up the top here. So as we come up the top, we do actually have we've got silty loam, but then we actually do have black sand in here. This one I might sort of set this one up as a sand zone, just in this particular region. It then comes up into this particular spot. It's a downward slope there. Let's just go and dig this bit out on the side here, just for picking up the sand. Got sound of it's got soot coming in from the volcano. Poults have hatched. So we'll just get that sand zone done under here. Yeah, so we're sort of stabilizing a little bit in through here. There's more soot coming in from the volcanoes. The guys must still be mining away. Zaridan's conducting a meeting. Con is actually still mining away. They'll eventually come up here. We'll get a sand zone there. It's the only sand we actually have that's accessible, that we can still sort of lock away if we have to. Tom again saying I actually had a ghost pull off a dwarf's arm once, so it was a good few years ago, so it might not be a thing anymore. It was pretty horrific at the time. I think I could still possibly do that sort of stuff, like if there's things that actually happen. Okay, we're slaughtering now the poults that have been hatched. When we have too many, that's just, again, a DF hack automatic thing we don't have to worry about. Now our wood, I think we're going to need to chop down a lot more wood. Let's just go back up the top here. And we'll just sort of start to clear wood out from away from the actual fortress. Clear it out. Make it so we can see when there's a siege happening. There's Began's old copper pick. Got attacked by a were monkey, I think it was. Need to keep the. I can make a zone just to sort of stop. Actually, these are all been locked away. Let's just go and reclaim this wood, so we've got access to it. All right, so that's the stairwell up into the top of the fortress. We haven't sort of done anything with that one just yet. Oh, here we go. We now actually have that one. Now comes back up. So I can now build the walkway out, like the drawbridge out this way. So we'll just go and build that one as well. So we'll just go to constructions, the bridge, which will go from, it'll raise from the bottom out to there. So that will be the drawbridge, and then what we'll end up doing is sort of just digging our way down into having some sort of trap system below this. Which will then sort of be a bit more interesting, I guess. So we've got that one now going to be there. Oh, I've got we need to chop that one down as well. And I'm going to be wanting to get flooring all the way through the bottom here. Now we've got just pear wood logs down the bottom in this other side. So I'm going to do the same thing everywhere inside here. Is to put, actually one thing I might just cancel that. Let's go and put some log woods down in the bottom here. Just so we've got like a nice floor. So constructions, floor, and we'll just go and set up like a little zone in here. Oops, hang on. Again, I've got it set. I'll just cancel the constructions of these. All right, so we're going to establish like a floor in through here. So this will be, again, just go back into here, constructions, floors, hide the planner. And so we can select the material then once we've actually sort of done this one. Now we've got chestnut logs. Let's just go and maybe just use those. We'll probably end up, we don't have a hell of a lot of one different type. Actually, you've got copper. Yeah, nothing much there really that's all just one type until we actually chop them all down. Let's use chestnut there. In fact, we can go and get another block of chestnut. Actually, no, I'll leave that one that is. That'll be okay. And then we're going to be wanting to have our, once this is chopped down, so we'll just wait for everything to sort of happen in here. We'll start to sort of then at least build up the top here. Now, the wall can still be scaled at this stage. But we need a lot of wood, like a hell of a lot of wood. There we go, they're finally getting rid of this now that it's actually seen. Good, that's now been done. And we just need these to be established. Okay, so we can now start to build this other area. Now, everyone's sort of moving around outside here, which is going to be in the way a little bit, but I think it'll still be okay. We can always come back from the other entrance. So let's go and build this next construction, which will be the bridge. Out to there, and we're going to use the, what do we need? We need 4. So I'll make this out of pecan wood. One troll, that'll be down below, that'll be okay. Here we go. So von Schweinhut, we're going to see a lot of these masterpiece gauntlets and things like this being created. So over time we should see some really good quality like armor. And what we can then go and do is actually remove the old armor and get rid of it, and then remelt it down and get more of the steel that way as well, which is good. Yep, that's okay. That's all fine. Chopping that's good. These are just growing too fast. I might create a wood-free zone out the back here. I'm going to go and get rid of this as well, just so we've actually got like a bit more of a field of fire. So we'll just go back into here and just go into dig a channel, and I'll just go and dig all of this out, just so we can sort of just have a nice sort of zone that we can then sort of manage. Good, this one's been picked up. It's only small. All right, let's make this into where we're going to be doing trading from now on. So the trading will now occur up in the top. So we need a 5x5 area. So we'll just go back in again to the what should we do in here? Constructions, floors. That one there. 25. We've got pick and wood. Let's make it all out of that for now. This way I can just have everything established for when everything comes. The humans should also be visiting soon. One thing I do need to do is to come back down into the bottom of the fortress again. I just go to F2 and we'll just keep on setting up the various display cabinets. Back in through here, so that'll be furniture, displays, and we now have 4 silver pedestals. A lot going on now. It's now the full moon, so this is if we're going to get were creatures, now's the time. Oh, the sand zone. Let's just quickly have a look up that one. That's F7 and then down. Yeah, this has now been established. So we've now got a little area through here. What I just need to do here is just go and pick up a sand area. So your citizens will fill sand at this zone. If the sand floor or sand wall is included, this task is initiated manually at the glass furnace. So I'm just going to go and grab that little zone there to be the sand zone, accept. And so that's all I need to do. It's just going to be that's where they'll now come and pick up the sand as required. We've still got these different things haven't been thrown outside properly. Let's just go back down again into these layers, and then we had this zone. I'll just go and repaint this one just so we can at least get everything cleaned up. This will then also help with getting rid of the skeletons that were around. So we shouldn't see any more of those now. They should have all been cleared out of the top level of the fortress. Yep. So we've got no more. We've still got some other fighting equipment. So we're still seeing some things that were leftovers, but at least all the bodies have now been taken away. We're going to be able to get rid of this fairly soon, and then actually sort of just have this one purely as an area for the traps or for the levers. It's going to be a lever room. What have we got there? This is Phantom Spider tunic. Yeah, that will have come in through the from the others, I think. Copper breastplate. I'll still just keep it there. Actually, what does it say there? Okay, so this has been sized for goblins. So let's just melt that one down. And this one here, giant leggings, sized for goblins. Can't do much with it really. Just leave it there. So we'll end up melting things that can't be done. We've got a steel cap. Coated with crunch tunnel runes, dwarven blood. So we can sort of still make use of this. What have we got there? We've got iron high boots. It's got creeping soot all over it, and a silver pike. We've got nightmare ichor, so this will actually help to kill off the nightmare. Yeah, that's okay. We'll just leave them where they are. Again, we're sort of finding all sorts of different stuff in through here as well, just from the previous fight. Do we have what we needed here yet? Nope, not yet. I'll get another door in here as well. That one there has now been established, so somebody will come and put that one in place. And I think we'll start by training the dingoes. There we go. It's now early summer. So Kamikura saying, "You sir look like a distinguished dwarf with that mighty beard." It's not a really big one actually. It's, I trim it all the time, unless you're talking about something else. Anyway, this is going to be a training zone in here. So we're going to now establish the dingoes. Now that we've at least got it so that they can't wander around the fortress, I'm just going to set this one up. So training is where? Is that pen or pasture? Thought it had a different setting for it. Animal training, there it is. Capable of being trained, receive their training at this zone once they have been assigned a trainer from the pet livestock menu. Generally, a piece of meat is required. So anyway, we've got all that established. So we'll just go across, and we'll make this into a training zone. Accept, and so this one is going to be essentially doesn't need to be assigned with anything. So we'll just go and cancel that one. But what we can do is now just go back into the pets and livestock style of things. So if we go back across, what I want to do in here, now that with this particular zone established, is to put in the, is to now go and place, I don't know if I have to keep them out. I might just do one at a time for a little while and just try to get the dingoes established. If you're unsure about how to do things, I mean, a really good way to do this is just to go into the, not DF hack, DF, yeah, the DF Dwarf Fortress Wiki. If we just go back into train, see animal trainer. There's a skill associated with animal training labor. Okay, so and there'll be certain things that will be, so either training wild ones or training certain species for war or hunting. So we're going to be training the dingoes for war, is what we want. So domesticating wild animals, we need to capture them, of course. So we've already got those sort of established. Then training. Once you've captured trainable objects trapped in a cage, you start training it. You need an animal training zone and some plants or meat, depending on whether the animal is herbivorous or carnivorous. To have your animal trainer begin training a wild animal, use the citizen information screen and select the animal menu. Scroll through the list until your captured animal unit is selected. Use the whistle icon to set up a trainer to train it. Note if a cage animal is fed plants, seeds will stay in the cage. Yep. So we do need to start off in the cage itself. So we do need to move the cages into that zone. So we'll just move them all across. So we'll just go back to Dwarf Fortress. And we'll establish it. So we need to now go and set up cages and restraints. And so we've got the cage. If I now just go and select in through here, we've got 36 cages. I'm going to hide the planner. And so we need to find the dingo cages. So that one, we're going to have a fair few of them. Dingo. Nothing else in there. The badges may also be worth having a look at as well. So nothing in the chestnuts. Oh no, there's one. Oaken we've gotten rid of. Chestnuts we've gotten rid of. Dingoes, we've got a fair few dingoes in here. God, there's heaps. we get to? There's a lot of Australian animals. I don't know why there's so many Australian animals in this. I get them all the time. I don't know if it sort of knows where you're from, so it sort of puts in animals that are from your location in the world. I'm not sure if other people get them to the same extent, like emus and dingoes. It just seems sort of funny to sort of see them. Echidnas were up there before. So these, we'll just wait for all of these to be brought in. So they'll start to sort of move them across. And then we'll just set up animal training. I'll probably just get 2 of the animal caretakers to do the training. Dingo pit. Here we go. It's now summer. Now the dingo. They've suspended some of these things. Let's just resume the construction there. That's ready to go. So that's actually all been established. We've got boulders down below. That's fine. So we need to get this one done just so we can sort of then get the other bits and pieces done. Now we've got wood that's now been chopped down outside. So what I think I'll do is we've got chestnut log floor there and pecan wood there. I'll just go back and get more flooring. We got pecan wood. Yep, I got 5. Okay, so what have I got a lot of? Sand pear logs. Should have more chestnut. Oh yeah, I've got heaps of it. Okay, so we'll get the we'll make most of this out of chestnut in that case. I'll just come back down the bottom here. And across here as well. Now I can't go over those, but that's all right. We'll just sort of at least just get things established here a little bit initially, and the idea really is to be able to have this on being able to be locked off. We can come up the top here, so I'm going to go and get one more level at the top. So we've got, this is the top of the area, and I'm going to be wanting to have like flooring placed in around the inside of this zone. I might make this into like an archery area, and then we'll sort of figure out ways of sort of doing things there. And I think for the siege towers, I'll end up having I'll end up with a different way of getting up the top with these. So this will be the next layer up. So we'll ultimately have flooring all the way across the top here as well. So we need to chop down even more trees. But these keep on growing fairly fast, which is good. So we can just keep on making everything out of wood. Not getting a hell of a lot of wood from it, but let's just keep it going. And yeah, it's growing fast. Okay, so the next layer up, we'll then just make this into wood as well. So if we go and go to flooring, access to building materials. Okay, we need to unforbid that. Make that one passable. That should now make it so that we can then go and do it. Yep, and so we've got sand pair logs. I'll make the outside area all sand pair logs. And yeah, all the way around. Sand pair logs all the way across there. So we don't actually have a wall there as such because of the door. So we just go over the top. And yeah, ultimately that will be fine. So actually I don't need that because that's ultimately going to be, no, I will actually do that one. I'll end up just with that just being flooring, I think, in this bottom area. So we may put down some walls just to sort of have even more blockage back in through this other side, just to sort of keep things sort of isolated. But we do need to have an area where the caravans can come in. So that will be sort of where that one arrives. I'll just let them sort of build up all of that one through there. Thanks for the subscription there, Tenry. That's very, very much appreciated. So Adrian said, do you know you can also chop wood into blocks to save materials? Actually, that's a good idea as well. That's a good idea. Yeah, that way we can, although we've got so much wood, we've just got so much of it. I think I'll just keep on chopping it down. Just clear it right out. That'll do us. Okay, so let's just now unpause and let it go forward again. Keep on forgetting what I should be looking at. Now I want this one done as a matter of priority. Okay, this has now been established. So let's now go and make this into the trade area, trade depot. And I've just got logs, so I'll just make it out of the logs that are out there. And then we can get rid of the other trade caravan inside. Now this is still going to be very, very dangerous. Until we actually get the roofs on up above. All right, that trade caravan is now done. Let's just go back down into this one and we'll now remove this. So remove that one, and I'll probably still I'll keep this in here for, actually no I won't, I'll get rid of that entirely as well. Okay, and then we'll sort of figure out the way that this is going to work inside this particular room. This is good. The dwarves are becoming a bit happier, slowly. Human caravan now has arrived. Now they shouldn't come into here, I don't think. We'll look at them in just a minute. And the royal treasurer from Anthath Thuran has arrived as well. So we're going to be needing to work with the humans. These visuals in through here. I'm just going to go back in and assign display items. We've got gauntlets. And we need steel. There it is. Throw that one down there. This one down here. I'm going to place that book that was outside out here. And codices. I think that was it there. I might put, actually I think someone else has actually got that in their equipment. But imagining anatomy is one that we will actually go and throw in there. I think if we just go back and have another quick look at the artifacts, creation, further musings. Okay, that one's holding that one. Imagining this has now been stored inside. That's good. Then they've got the ring and the gauntlet. That'll be okay. Let's just go and place those where they are. Oh, the kittens are being slaughtered now as well. Must have too many of them down below. Yeah, we've got too many kittens, so we're slaughtering kittens now as well. I might, I'll leave the kittens there just to keep the vermin down. But the dogs, I'll try to think about. Actually, one thing we're going to do is, again, just go into this zone. So they're all in here now. Let's now go and assign the pets and livestock are not allocated there at this stage. So what we need to do is we need to go to other, and then we've got the caged animals, the dingoes. So these are all going to be trainable, and we need to assign a trainer. Go mock. So we had more animal caretakers. We've got Regoth as well. So she don't have any real skills just yet. Let's go and assign all of these, or some of these, to her. And so maybe 5. And the other one as well. To Regoth. And then this should become good at training animals over time. And we've still got a few more. Let's get her to do a few more, and that one as well. Regoth in through there. So it's interesting. How do you, Daz? The kittens adopted your dwarves, so give them a home. Yeah, I know, it's pretty bad actually. I didn't think that they, I mean, I know that they do automatically get rid of them if there's too many. But we should do other things. Now there's a prophet there. Solon the prophet. He's been hovering around for a while. So we've got some, like, yeah, he's sort of come in, he's a bit of a weirdo. Bit of a weirdo. He's not part of our group, I don't think. Or is he? Maybe he is. Oh no, there he is. He's a guest. So he is a prophet. I'm not sure what impact he will then have with what he's doing. That's okay. Anyway, we're sort of we are slowly fixing up the problems that we actually had in the fortress. They've now come, and we've got the royal treasurer has arrived as well. So he arrived off the side. They'll then start to sort of come into the actual fortress. Let's continue on with this, with what we're building, and we're starting to now sort of build this top area as well, which is good. This is then going to allow us to start to put up more rock walls, and I should be able to now make these out of microline blocks. So I won't worry about doing the. Actually, we've got those slated for removal. We don't want the goblins climbing up the trees and climbing in this way as well. So we've got a few different things we have to now contend with. So I'm going to go up one more level. What I think I'll do is create a fortification area on this one, and I'm not exactly sure which way I'll do it though. Let's just go and start to build constructions and just normal walls. 52 microline blocks now, which is good. So we're just going to establish these in these inner corners. What happened there? Cancel. I must have clicked on something accidentally while I was doing all this. Why is it not select material after placement? Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Oh, hang on, it was using the last material. That's probably not bad actually. So I'll just keep on going this way. These are going to be still microline blocks. The wall. Yep, that'll be okay. All right, then we're going to end up just with arrow slits all the way through here. So now should I split it up maybe? That might be interesting. Let's just go and do it that way. Instructions, and again just wall. I'm going to put wall all the way across. Actually, no, I won't. I'll leave one piece. Oh, no, no access there. That's okay. And then we'll make arrow slits all the way around. I sort of inclined to just leave solid areas in the top there, but let's just leave that where that is. Okay, so then we just come back across constructions, and now we need to make fortifications. All the way through here and through there. Place them on those sort of okay, we're out of materials. All right, so we'll just wait for the others to then be built. It's going to be a long process to get all this stuff done. Just going to suspend that construction for a little while, just until these corner places are done. Comes the human caravan. So they're offloading. Okay, so here we go. The Dwarfs of the Painful Deep now know a few facts about dingo training, which is good. So we now sort of are learning about the dingoes. Merchants have arrived, so it's going to take a little bit of time. That's all good. Royal Treasurer has arrived. Now he is he'll be somewhere inside the fortress. Let's go and start to move goods to and fro again. We don't need to do a lot in here. So Jinga is saying, Daz, are you above using mist generators to fix your happiness? Your dwarves are quite upset. Yeah, they're upset, but it is improving slowly. Very, very slowly. So we're sort of we're trying to get it across there, but it's not happening just yet. We will get there eventually. I got one crown. Yeah, we sold it all off to the elves, unfortunately. All this stuff. What else have we got? We've got a few goblets. We really don't have a lot that we can go and sort of show. Steel shields, we're not going to be selling those off. These here, these are actually of no use to us anymore, because we've already made other ones. So I'll just go and sell both of those ones off. We'll get rid of those statues. I'll keep the ones where we've actually got our own characters there, but we'll sell some of the other ones off. That's about it. Weapons. Silver spears are pretty useless. You can sort of sell off the, yeah, there's nothing much else there really, so that's all fine. Just leave that one where that is. That'll do us. One can now be placed. Okay, we now have diplomacy. So manager, so Neepst meets with the the human royal treasurer. So let's see what they want. One thing we always need is powder. We need, where is it? Powders, we need gypsum powder, if they've got it. They don't. Alright, so they don't make gypsum powder. Alright, so we can't do anything with that. We might just make it, in this case then, food or cheeses. Let's get some cow cheese. That'll do us. Sure, you want to leave the screen. Just go back out again. Done. Alright, so it'll be a higher price for cow cheese. So we're slowly sort of building this one up. A snatcher, protect the children. Okay, this will be interesting to see what actually happens here. Now I'm going to have to probably this will be the last thing we do today, is deal with this particular snatcher. So we've got a few different things that we do need to now sort out. And we do need to also now get the levers and things done in the next session. So if we just go snatch protect the children, we'll go and just go and click on OK and then pause and see where that is. Oh, it's been caught already. Goblin thief. There we are. Okay, so we've caught ourselves. This is actually like a precursor to the goblins sort of coming in. So quite often these little things will come in and see what they can get away with. Now there may be more. Is it the only one? Looks like it's the only one. So we've been able to catch this one, which is good. What do they have? So it's a male, Stongo Mudob. So that's going to now be placed downstairs. We can use these sorts of snatches and things for training, like for getting our dwarves used to killing things off if we need to. Anyway, we'll just let them sort of figure out what they're going to be doing. We've got all these different things now sort of been established. What we need to do is now set up the actual the protections for the whole fortress. So we've got different areas above. Like we've got this one here is the Nethercap Bridge. We're going to have to name the bridges a bit better than what we've done through here. So so this will be, if we go and actually name them, we can then actually have levers named the same thing to go with this one. Yeah, big and saying off with his head. we might set up a pit or something where we actually capture enough of the goblins. So the Pekinwood Bridge, we'll just go and change this one to this is really like the back door, like the back inner door. And so that will be where we are. We've got the back door. We'll call this one the back lid. This one here. It's called the nether cap bridge at this stage, but we'll call this one the back lid bridge, just so it's descriptive and we know what it actually is. Main drawbridge will be the main one that's out here. Main drawbridge. All right, then as we sort of come back down through the fortress, we go down this stairwell and we hit that area, that's all okay. Then we have these different bridges, so these are going to be the, I'll call it east and west. This is the sort of like the blocks, the block, I'll go in a block or something like that. Block. This will be in the west. And this one here will be in a block east. So they're going to be the to block off. If the top of the fortress falls, we then need to protect the rest of the fortress using these bridges. So by that stage, we won't have any more military left, I don't think. So so that will then be a bit of a problem. That becomes what we end up having. Now, if we do lose that one, we then end up losing essentially the everything down below as well. So that's really going to be the death of the fortress. Even if that does, if we end up having to use these bridges, that's going to be an issue. I think that's all of the bridges that we had. Let's just go and now place the lever room in here. So we'll set up just a couple of different areas with the levers. So we'll just go back and construct. So this will be machines, levers. I'm going to keep on sort of positioning these. So the first one we're going to place is the one outside. I'll just go and place that one here. So that one's fine. And then we're going to have the inner one there. And then we're going to come up for the main drawbridge in here, probably there. And then we're going to have the east and west. So I'll place one there and one there. And that's it, I think, at this stage. Here we go, we've got another snatcher. Yeah, I thought there'd be more than just one. So we'll click on OK. Another one as well. So this one's now coming through. Goblin Thief. All right, let's have a look and see what we've got. Now they can. We've got a woodworker is now coming back through in behind the snatchers, which is how we've seen them. Wood bin is now completed. It's okay. We'll just get rid of the stuff we don't need to look at. Human bard is visiting. That's okay. So we've caught one. This one's coming through. What are you armed with? No weapons. And there should be more. There's another one there. Okay, no weapons. All right, well, what we can do is we can lock down the actual fortress. So we'll let them keep on coming back down. So they'll make their way into here. We're going to stop everyone from going upstairs. So what we've got is we've got actually a burrows system. So we've established a burrows in here, which is sort of like our safe zone. I'm going to allow this to be just part of the safe zone. So we'll just keep on going and repainting the different zones that we end up having. So we've got no safe zone up top. That's all fine. So there's nothing else up there which is considered to be safe. And then that encompasses pretty much everything. This is not considered a safe zone, but it should be. Just come back up the top here and make that safe zone all the way down. And then just establish these at this stage as a safe zone. We can always just sort of re-establish these separately. We can flood fill this as well, just to sort of get everything that we need. Okay, that's all fine where that is. For now, I'll make all this the safe zone. We may need to get like a couple of different zones in here. So that will be established as a safe area. So the dwarves can come into this particular region. Because we need to now lock things down a little bit. Alright, so that's fine where that is. Let's double check. I don't want to be making it difficult for the dwarves to work. That's fine. I'll make that safe zone as well, even though we're not really using that. And again, we've established everything else there. That works. No, it doesn't, not quite. Make that all safe. And that as well. So that's all safe. This is all safe as well. That's it, really. So that's the that's everything now in the whole fortress. It's sort of essentially been sort of set up to be a safe zone. So we can now go and go back to our activate the civilian alert, just to make sure everyone's left inside. So we'll go and do that. And what we'll also now go and do is go up the top to F2, and we do actually have, this is the nether cap bridge, and we also had the silkstone lever as well, which I can't even remember what we attached that one to. I don't think we ended up attaching that to anything. This one's got two mechanisms. This is one that we need to be pulling. So I'm going to pull the lever, do it now. So somebody is going to go race across and pull that lever and lock down the top of the fortress. What we'll now do is also then go and get our military to go and deal with these. So we're going to go with them selected. They're going to go to a station order. And I'll get them to station out here somewhere. Now, the thieves will already be through by that stage, but or we can even just get them to here. Let's just go and do that. So we'll tell them to the embattled axe is to a station at that particular point. There's kids down in here, which is what the snatchers want. So let's now just go and maybe we'll watch a snatcher. Actually, we can either watch them pull the lever, or we can watch the snatchers. There may be more. Actually, I'll watch the lever for a second. Come on, somebody pull the lever. Another snatcher. That's a fourth one. Come on, someone pull it. Someone pull the lever. Our military are here. Okay, we caught one there. Okay, we've got a general familiarity now with dingo training. The other one's outside. Unfortunately, nobody's pulling that that lever. Animal caretaker is outside. I've lost sight of them. Oh, there's one caught there. Let's just see if there's any others around. Cage, so there's one outside here. All right, Look, that's in that case I won't pull the lever. And it looks like we're going to be sort of dealing with it anyway. So I'll still keep the civilian alert going just so that everyone's back inside. And I'll let these guys go back to their normal job. So no special orders, they'll just go back off and start training again. All right, so we've got a few of these now. In terms of, I'm going to clear the civilian alert as well, even though there's still one more outside. Let's just go back up the top there again and see that one. It should be running away, actually. Where is it? Yeah, it should be in here. Don't think it would have got anything. Yeah, so it's actually got tears and stuff because I think it might have been caught in the choking soot. So if we have a bit of a look, we're sort of seeing that there's a whole lot of vomit, and I think these might have been the snatchers coming in with the with stuff that's actually made them sick from the soot. So let's have a look and see. This one's running away. So had enough. It's tired. Didn't feel anything when in conflict. Don't know if she was in conflict. Anyway, that's okay. Running away from the location. So that one will then leave the map, which will then just leave the other three. So we've now caught them. Which let everything else sort of develop. Did I tell them to stop pressing this? That has now been pulled. That's going to be a bit dangerous. Let's just go back up the top again. That's F7. Okay, we did have so this has now been blocked off. Not that we need to. So let's just go and reopen this one. If I leave it down, actually, we're actually getting these established. This is actually the one that we want. This is the microline lever. This is going to be the, what do we call it, the lead or something. Let's go back up the top there again. So F7, this is the back lid bridge. So F2. Back lid bridge. And so we link this lever. So click a building to link it to. So we just go back up again to F7 and click that one there. So we'll link and we'll do that one as quickly as possible. So that one's now been built. Just go back down to F2. This one here is called the back inner door. So try to position them so that they make sense visually, but also so that we can sort of see what's going on there. So we'll just go and that one's now going to be linked, which is good. And then we're still just waiting for these to be built as well. I'm going to disassemble these. All right, this is now the main drawbridge. And we're going to link that lever back up to this one. We want that one done fairly urgently. These, we'll just resume construction of those. So things are sort of developing up into here. We'll just resume construction. There'll be things that will have gotten in the way a little bit. That's going to be hard to get to until we've got the flooring down. As an example, we need to resume these corner constructions before we let these ones go. So there's a bit of work to be done. That's all happening. That's fine. And that's all happening as well. So we'll let that one... And so we've now got these ones locked in. We'll sort of bring these goblins inside and probably use them for training. Now the dingoes will slowly sort of be trained up as well. Now these ones here we didn't link. This is the inner block west and inner block east. Block west, link the lever across that one. And inner block east. It's so much easier being able to do this naming. It used not to be the case. But that now, at least I can then have a, if I click on that one, it's the main drawbridge. I can then go and click it. This one here is the backlid bridge is still actually being linked. I'll just let everyone sort of just do their thing for a little while. Some more migrants. Wow, we've got heaps. Right, we'll let these ones come in. Now, orangutans redeemed a new character. We'll just get you sorted, and then I do have to get going, actually. I've got a stream in about an hour's time over the Slytherin channel. So I will just need a bit of a breather. Just migrants, let's have a quick look and see what we've got. Now, in terms of what we have, that's a new arrival, a milker, not going to be all that valuable. We've got a bit of a choice. So if you've got a request, I may be able to satisfy a request anyway. We've got trainers, like the dingo trainers are going to be ultimately fairly important. What's the Slytherin stream? It's Battle Plan, which is a game that's coming out fairly soon. So I'm just showing off. I've got like an early build of it. It's not super polished, but it's a very interesting game. So I've played it a couple of times actually, just to sort of show what it does do. It's like a different sort of war game, which is quite nice. Let's just go that way. So yeah, so orangutans, if you do want a, like we do actually have animal trainers that ultimately will be like in charge of the dingoes. What have we got there? Just see if there's anything. There's a leather worker, fish cleaner, fisher dwarf. These are not valuable to us. Milker again. Not getting anyone good out of this. A peasant. An animal dissector. That looks to be everyone. Oh, dingo trainer sounds good. I can see being banned after being ripped apart by feral dingoes. Let's have a look and see. We've got two that we're actually using first as the trainers. So there's a couple. These animal caretakers, Gomok and Rigoth, are the ones that we've sort of been using. Now, if we have a look at her skills, so it's becoming a trainer. So it's only really just sort of started, and then the other one that we've got, they'll both be at the same level, I think. We might even train even more animals. So I'll give you the other guy. I'll give you this guy here, Rigoth. He's out building stuff at the moment. Look at his skills. Yeah, he's about the same level. Okay, so this will be Orangutan's library. Your previous character had to be put to rest. Resume construction there. I think I've screwed up here. We can't reach that. I'm going to have to disassemble this one to be able to get into the middle there. I screwed up. And in fact, I'm just going to make sure that I suspend the construction there, just so I can get into that corner, and suspend that construction as well. I have to do the same over here. Suspend, 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 and then we haven't built the other bits and pieces around here just yet. That's now been established, so I can put a block in there now, but I can't quite reach it, so I'll just wait for the flooring to be placed. But I have run out of time, guys, so I'm going to leave it here. So thanks for watching. We're up to 51 characters. So we're about the same size as we were there before, actually, which is good. And we're slowly establishing this next floor. And it will end up with another... I'm going to go out beyond and sort of create like a bigger area for the top of the fortress. So that we can actually then sort of have like an overhang, which will then stop units from crawling up the wall, which at the moment they can do. So Big and saying, I'm going to take advantage of the sale and give you an early Christmas present. Oh, what's that? So Syrian saying that Daz was nice to us and didn't ban us when the fort fell, so all good. Yes. Anyway, let's keep on going. Oh, wow. Wow. Vegan, 20 subs. Thank you very, very much. That's awesome. So thank you for that. That's great. So there's a heap of gifted subs there that's been given out to different people. So thank you very, very much, Vegan. That's awesome. Very, very much appreciated. So yeah, awesome stuff. Thank you for that. So I'm going to have to sort of close up now with the actual stream. But we'll be back just to finish off this fortress. We'll do the trading, get the flooring sort of done in through here as well. And Orangutang's also gifting another 10. Thank you, guys. That's very much appreciated. So I think that takes my subs to the highest it's ever been, I think. So thank you for that one. Subs are hard to come by, to be honest, in Twitch. I don't ask for them basically. It's one of those things where I guess it's the measure really of a channel. Just to sort of to see how it's going. So I do appreciate that. So thank you very, very much. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to finish up now, just so I can actually have a bit of a break before I head over to the Slytherin channel and sort of do the stuff over there. But this is actually, we're getting quite nicely into position here now with this fortress. I feel that we're sort of close to being able to protect against a siege in a fairly meaningful way. Just need to get these floors built and sort of block the whole fortress off. Anyway, leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.